It's West Florida versus Southeast Louisiana as the Escambia Gators from Pensacola come to Jefferson Parish to take on the Rummel Raiders. A special edition of Game Time coming up next here on Yearview. It's Saturday night in Joseph Yenny Stadium, and that can only mean one thing. The Rummel Raiders are here as they continue to try to get back to the state championship game after a 2-year absence. Tonight, they face the Escambia Gators from Pensacola, who are off to a 2-0 start. Hello, everyone. I'm Jeff Palermo, and tonight, former Southern University defensive back and Capitol High standout Reggie Flood sitting in for Jason DeQuare for what should be a really good matchup between two teams, two schools that have won state championships in their history. You have two state championship coaches, so we're looking forward to a terrific matchup tonight, Reggie.
Yes, you are, and Jeff, ease up on the standout thing, all right?
Well, we do have some standout players to talk about. Let's first of all, for Escambia, they have had a great tradition of running backs. They've had Emmett Smith, they've had Trent Richardson, and Frank Peasant has come along, and he has been a stud. 400 yards rushing in the first 2 games of the year.
Yes, Frank Peasant has been their offense so far this year, and the coach, when you talk to the coaches, they say that this guy isn't quite getting the credit that he deserves. He could be a SEC caliber running back. They're going to lean on him heavily tonight, Jeff.
And for Rummel, they will be leaning heavily on their starting quarterback, Chandler Fields. That's because their star wideout, Coy Moore, is not playing. Chandler Fields is committed to the Raging Cajuns, and he's a good one.
Yes, he's going to have to carry the load with their 2 star receivers out. He's going to have to carry the load for the Raiders and help them move the ball on offense. They're going to depend on him, so it's going to be a heavy load, but Coach seems to think he can get it done.
We're just moments away from kickoff at Joe Yenny Stadium. Stay tuned for Saturday Night Football on Yearview. This is Game Time.
Game Time on Yearview is brought to you by Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance, ready to serve you with auto, homeowners, life insurance, and more. Real service, real people. West Feliciana Parish. The best place for you to live and work in South Louisiana is West Feliciana Parish. Check out wfparish.org. ITI Technical College, your key to a better life. And by Peak Performance. At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete and everyone stronger, faster, better.
I think that people want to be in West Feliciana because it's truly one of the unique parts of Louisiana. That if you live in West Feliciana, you can have it all. You can have a great lifestyle, a government that works for you and is open and transparent. You can have wonderful neighbors. You can have a great school. You can live in an environment that's free of fear from crime. We're less than 20 minutes from the Baton Rouge Airport, 30 minutes from the state capitol. What we have in West Feliciana is a place where you really can have it all.
When I get back to Baton Rouge, I get in my blues mobile and I drive right on down to Partner's Barbecue. And you know what I do? I get me some ribs, all 10 to 2. Some baked beans, some potato salad, some smoked sausage. You got to come on down to Partner's Barbecue, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
My guys, you all know what we preached all year. It's all about us tonight. It has nothing to do with the team in orange. Nothing to do with it. To me, this would be like a practice. Are we going to go out and have a good effort tonight? Or are we going to be unselfish? Or are we going to take care of our teammates, not let them hang them out to dry? Or are we going to execute the plan? It's been 6 days now we've worked on Escambia. 6 days. If you can't get it now, in 6 days, you shouldn't walk out the door. You should not walk out the door. Remember this, you do represent the state of Louisiana, okay? Nobody should come in your backyard and take care of your sand, that's all I'm telling you. Nobody. Nobody from Mississippi, nobody from New Jersey, nobody from Florida comes in your backyard and takes care of your sand. You're a hungry football team, they've been through a lot this week. They haven't had school, they haven't practiced much. They're hungry. They're ready to get up some ass. But you know what? We want to be 2-0, correct? 2-0. Okay, we're going to take care of our business. Let's hit a knee. Let's go. Hit a knee, hit a knee, hit a knee.
Off getting his guys ready for tonight's ball game. Let's take a look at our keys to the game for this one. First of all, let's talk about Escambia. They're 2-0 under head coach Mike Bennett. What do they need to do here tonight, Reggie, to get a win in Louisiana?
I think they're going to have to run the ball and play good defense. They're going to have to depend on their guy, Noah, Mr. Nasty Lord. He is their defensive stalwart. I think he's going to be the key to this game in stopping Rummel's offense and getting the ball back to Frank Peasant.
Yeah, you know that Rummel's going to be running the football quite a bit tonight with Coy Moore not playing. Now let's take a look at Rummel's keys to victory. They want for Rummel, they're going to need to try to contain Escambia's quarterback, A.V. Smith, who's played very well early on in the season and is a returning starter for the Gators.
Yes, Rummel's going to have to contain the quarterback on defense. Their skill position guys are out, so they're going to have to depend on their quarterback, and they're going to have to pick up, get in this red zone, and they're going to have to score. They're going to have to not kick field goals, but get in there and score 6.
That has been a problem for Rummel, especially even last year when they went 7-4. They were a team that was able to move the football field up and down the field, but then once they got inside the red zone, they were not able to punch it into the end zone. We'll see if they'll be able to do that tonight. Rummel won last week, beating Gulfport, Mississippi 34-6. Caleb Sturgis had the big night for the Raiders in that one as he ran for 3 touchdowns. And then for Escambia, they started off the season beating West Florida 23-20 and then defeated Shaw 42-13 last week on their home field. Let's bring in the third member of our broadcast crew, Smacker Miles. Smacker, how you doing tonight?
Hey guys, I'm good, and I just talked to the head coach Mike Bennett of Escambia, and he made me even better. His passion for football is contagious. He spent 18 years at Pensacola High before he spent 2 years as just their athletic director. He said he missed the guys, he missed being on the sideline, and being a part of that team atmosphere. So before last season, he took the head coaching job at Escambia, and here is how he put together his staff.
Well, I just love coaching. I mean, I love being around the kids. You know, I have the opportunity to coach with my son, and then most of my coaches have been with me for, like, my defense coordinator 18 years, and one of my offensive line coaches for 17 years, and then my other offensive line coach I just hired this year, he gave me a job in 1985 as a secondary coach. So I just love these guys. I just love being around the kids and the coaches.
Like to coach 20 more years. He's 58. That would put him at 78. But with his enthusiasm, we can't rule it out. Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Smacker. And Mike Bennett won a state championship in 2009 with Pensacola as he led Pensacola to 10 playoff appearances. We'll talk more about him as the night goes along. We'll talk about these two teams quite a bit. Rummel won the toss, deferred to the second half, so Escambia will get the football to begin the contest. Rummel a little banged up coming into this game. We've already talked about no Coy Moore for them. He has a hamstring injury. Also, Logan Diggs, who was really good as a freshman last season, he's been battling a high ankle sprain. And then their kicker for Rummel, Patrick Vanderbrook, he is not out there. He's got a hip flexor, so kicking off, it's Jacob Renton, and we are underway from Joe Yenny Stadium. That is in the end zone and an automatic touchback, and we'll see Escambia's offense take over 1st and 10 at the 20. Last year, Escambia had Jacob Copeland, who was a 1,000-yard receiver, now playing for the Florida Gators. They do not have him, but A.V. Smith is back as the returning starter. There's his numbers so far this year. Last year, he threw for over 1,200 yards and 28 touchdowns. He can also run the football a little bit, over 100 yards rushing through 2 games this season. A smart quarterback who has been a better runner this season. Escambia lining up in the spread offense, and one of the things you'll notice with the Gators, they got a huge offensive line. Couple guys there over 300 pounds.
Yes, Eric Harris, that's their Alabama State commit. He's their leader on the offensive line.
Wow, 2 wide receivers right there in the same area. They kind of collided with each other, and Zachary Lovelace unable to make the grab, and it's 2nd down and 10. I don't think that's exactly how they wanted to see it. Now let's take a look at the starting lineups here for Escambia. Frank Peasant, their big back, a 6 foot, 190-pound junior. Their wide receivers, Chris Hale, Tony Broadnax, Jalen Blackman, Detrius Gideon, who had 5 catches or has 5 catches on the season. Just mentioned Eric Harris, Brennan Smith, Desmond Baker, Eric Jones, and Isaac Barrow. Keeping it on the ground, and that is very close to a first down for Escambia as A.V. Smith got the carry. Just a junior is A.V., 6 foot 1, 181 pounds. And it is enough for a first down. Let's look at Rummel's starting lineup. On the defensive side, they returned 6 starters from a year ago, but just 2 senior starters. Jordan Williams, the defensive end, Vontae Brown, Kabaz Craig, Aaron Thomas, Kyler Rodriguez, Quentin Cage, Joey Armit, Donovan Kaufman, Ron Franklin, Malik Woodry, and Gavin Holmes lining up, and a big defensive play here. First one of the night. Did Rummel come away with the football? Kabaz Craig thinks he has it. I think they're going to whistle the ball carrier down. And that will bring up second down and long, but nobody blocked number 93, the sophomore here, Kabaz Craig, a loss of 5.
No, a heck of a play right there. He got in the backfield, being disruptive. That's what you need your defensive lineman to do, get upfield and be disruptive. He was able to make the play and take the ball away, but the ref marked it down.
There's a look at Kabaz Craig, one of those young defensive players. He was really good as a freshman last year. He's gotten stronger this season. 2nd and 15, Smith. He's got to get out of there. Still looking downfield. Now will take off and gets back up to the 29-yard line where he was tackled by Evance Brown.
A.V. Smith is so dangerous with his legs. He was able to get out of trouble there, but Rummel playing the zone on the backside, nobody to throw to, but he still was able to get some positive yards out of that play. A.V. Smith, they're going to have to keep a spy on him maybe this whole game.
Now it's 3rd down and 11. And for Coach Jay Roth and the Raiders, getting off the field on 3rd down, that's been a bit of an issue here over the last couple of seasons. They run a little screen pattern and losing the football, and they're going to call it an incomplete pass. One of the Rummel defensive backs got in there and got his hand to knock that football away.
Great play by, sorry, Jeff.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's going to force an Escambia punt.
Great play by Ron Franklin, but the receiver was losing the ball anyway. But Franklin got in there, got his hands in there. The receiver may have heard a few footsteps right there, and he gave that ball up.
Out to punt here for Escambia. It's going to be Tim Dortch. Donovan Kaufman back to return for Rummel. Kaufman will be standing at his own 40-yard line. Line drive punt. Kaufman takes it and gets hit immediately and is brought down. Good job by Escambia. 30-yard punt. They got down there pretty quick on the tackle. For Escambia was Patrick Sanders, P.J. Sanders.
Yes, he's one of their better defensive backs, one of their better defensive players. Coach Bennett talked about him earlier in the week.
There's a look at Chandler Fields, and there's his numbers from a week ago when Rummel beat Gulfport. Last year, threw for over 2,300 yards, 30 touchdowns on the season. He's committed to UL Lafayette. Didn't run the ball much last year, but in the season opener, he had 13 carries for 68 yards. There's movement off the left side, and not the way you want to start the football game offensively if you're the Rummel Raiders.
False start. Offense. Number 77. 5 yards. Still first down.
Brenton Boschman guilty of the 5-yard penalty. Jay Roth not calling plays this year for Rummel. He's leaving that up to his co-coordinators, Bobby Sanders and Graham Jarrett. But Jay Roth, if you follow the program, you know that he was named the athletic director earlier this year, so he's doing double duty and decided to let his assistants handle more of the load. Nice spin move there by Jacob Renton, yes, who will be a guy that they'll depend on a lot here tonight with Coy Moore out with a hamstring injury. 6-yard catch there. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for the Rummel Raiders before they snap here on 2nd down. I don't know if we'll have time. Maybe we'll catch it here after this play. from the 44-yard line for Chandler Fields, who completes his first pass of the night. They go on the ground. Jalen Sturgis makes one defender miss, runs over another one very close to that first down marker. He'll be about a yard short, though. They'll bring up 3rd and short. Sturgis had a big game last week, 146 yards and 3 touchdowns. 7-yard run there, and there's the starting lineup for the Rummel Raiders. Just mentioned Sturgis, Armor Rochelle, Jacob Brenton, Carlton Williams, Logan Bertucci, Boschman, Anthony Harrison, Trayron Laborde, Ethan Barnesfather, and then Zach Smith, who's a returning starter, co-captain on this Rummel team. Tough player, 6 foot, 275-pounder. On 3rd and short, Rummel will move the chains, and Sturgis runs ahead for about 6 or 7. Sturgis broke his foot as a freshman. Didn't play much last year, only 124 yards rushing, but he is in better shape this year and is running the football well. There's a look at the Gators defense. They return 6 starters. Gary Cowart is the defensive coordinator. Minor, Edwards, Davis, Akbar along that defensive line. Noah Lord is known as Mr. Nasty. Field steps up, throws, and on a dart completes the pass to the 24-yard line. That's Amor Rochelle, the junior, making the grab, his first of the season, and the Raiders, after a 19-yard pass play, are in business.
Rummel is clicking on all gears right now. They really have Escambia off balance, mixing up the pass and the run. They're physical and finesse.
Metairie is done on the tackle, his 10th of the season. Football now inside the 25-yard line. Here is Rummel moving the ball well on their first drive of the night. They script the first 15 plays. Getting a chance to carry the ball this time is Kyle Walker, and he's angled out of bounds. Big hitting down there at the end of that play, but Kyle Walker's a big boy, 5'7", and he's stocky running back, close to 200 pounds, just a sophomore.
Yeah, that's what you call delivering the blow right there. When you see him get upfield, he's looking for somebody to hit. Look, he gives him that, what we used to call the old flipper, Jeff, and he delivers the blow right there. That's what you want to see out of a running back, running behind his pads.
Joseph Minor getting knocked over there. Football just outside the red zone with the ball at the 20-yard line. Fields will just run straight ahead. Good open field tackle. That was a nice play. There's Mr. Nasty, Noah Lord. 64 tackles last season. A throwback type of linebacker. Coach Mike Bennett compared him to Dick Butkus.
Yes, and you look at Noah Lord, and they're old school running that 4-3, and he's a true old school middle linebacker.
3rd and 4. Movement along the line of scrimmage, and I think Escambia jumped off sides, and this will lead to a Raiders first down.
Dead ball, encroachment, defense, number 34, 5 yards, replay 3rd down.
3 yards there is Xavier Johnson, who moved from linebacker to defensive line in the offseason. Gives Rummel a first down and another pickup on 3rd down. Raiders 2 for 2 on their 3rd down conversions on the opening drive of the night. Now the ball just inside the 13-yard line. Fields, play action fake, and knocked away. Good defense there. Exceptional coverage by the Escambia Gator defender Jesse Salisbury, but there is a flag. Maybe the holding, possibly. Ball, or the flag's right around the
play. The big downfield on offense, number 55. 5 yards, first down.
Traditionally, from last year, we talked about this in the opening. This is where Rummel has struggled, in the red zone, inside of the 20. They are moving back now, but they've struggled. The coach said he wanted to get 6 points. They need to put points on the board if they help to beat Escambia.
And again, their field goal kicker is hurt, Patrick Vanderbrook, so that might also affect their ability to get 3 points if their drive stall in the red zone. Fields to the end zone. Oh, off the hands, or maybe at least off one hand of the intended receiver. And that was Keith Robertson.
Just a little bit out of his reach. You want to see him lay out for that ball, but that ball was just a little bit out of his reach. He was able to get one hand on it. Maybe if he lays out, he would have been able to get 2 on it.
So third down, second down at 15 because of the 5-yard penalty. Rummel inside the West Feliciana Parish red zone. Fields keeps it, breaks 2 tackles to the 5. Touchdown! Touchdown Chandler Fields, and the Raiders are on the board, 6-0.
Now that's what Coach Roth wants to see. That's exactly what he wants to see. The quarterback taking it on his shoulders as the rest of the star players out, getting it in the end zone.
18-yard touchdown run to match the number on his jersey. And he shows his ability to run the football here, and a nice job on the zone read.
Yes, Chandler Fields knows when he's a smart player. He knows when to keep the ball, and that's why he was able to get it in the end zone. Great read by Fields.
Renton will try the extra point. And it's not even close. But the Rummel Raiders drive down the field on a 9-play drive, and they take a 6-0 lead early on. Chandler Fields, he is the real deal. Escambia will have their hands full with him all night. This is Game Time on your view.
Tonight's Game Time keys to the game are brought to you by West Feliciana Parish, where you really can have it all. The best place for you to live and work in South Louisiana is West Feliciana Parish. Check out wfparish.org.
Welcome to Monogram Express, a unique embroidery boutique specializing in personalized and one-of-a-kind gift ideas. Gifts for babies, children, ladies, and even men, we have you covered. Equipped with state-of-the-art embroidery machines, along with an experienced client-focused staff serving you 6 days a week. Check out the area's largest selection of letters, designs, and thread colors. We're your one-stop embroidery shop, handling personal, corporate, team, and school logos, and you're welcome to bring in your own items. Conveniently located at 2109 Veterans. Monogram Express makes your ordinary gifts extraordinary.
Tonight's Game Time starting lineups are brought to you by Peak Performance. At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete and everyone. Stronger, faster, better. Choose Peak.
Impressive opening drive. Chandler Fields, the 3-star prospect, takes the Raiders down the field, and the 18-yard touchdown run completes the Panda's Barbecue scoring drive.
Yes, Rummel's offense really were able to keep Escambia off balance on the defensive side of the ball. They spread the field out, and Chandler Field does what he does best. He ran the ball, and that was a work of art, that offensive series right there.
And for Escambia, they wanted to try to contain Chandler Fields. They'll need to figure out something different, because it didn't work on that opening drive. From the 7-yard line here for the Gators. And on the return for Escambia is Jaden Blackman, and a great open field tackle at the 22-yard line. Outstanding job as Rummel's.
That's that guy again, 49.
Kyle Walker
yes.
On the stop.
He's doing it on both sides of the ball. He's doing it. He made that big run, that punishing run, and then he comes back and makes a play on special teams.
15-yard return. Escambia now will start from its own 22-yard line. Just 2 starters back on this offense. They have started fast, has Escambia, in their first 2 games. This first time they've been trailing in the first half of the season. Frank Peasant gets a carry and nothing happening there. The Rummel Raiders were waiting for him. Jordan Williams, a junior, returning starter, right there to plug up the hole, and only a gain of 1.5 yards about. That's about it.
Escambia is really having some problems running the ball. Rummel is clogging up the middle, and the thing about it, Rummel isn't a big team. Escambia's line is huge, but they don't seem to be able to contain the 3-down linemen for Rummel. Their linebackers are running free, so that means that the linemen are doing an excellent job.
There are 2 300-pound linemen on that Escambia front 5, and again, no running room at all. In the backfield, very quickly, was Joey Arment from his defensive back position. He's only 5'7", 150 pounds, but he met Peasant at the hole and brought him down.
Yes, I'm looking at the interior line play, the defensive line play of Rummel. They are controlling the line of scrimmage and allowing the linebackers and the rovers to get to the ball carrier with ease.
Eric Harris and Eric Jones are those 2 300-pound offensive linemen for the Gators. So far, Escambia just 10 yards on 5 carries. Let's see if A.V. Smith can make something happen here. They blitz. And now he can run. And he can run for a long time. Up to the 45-yard line before Quentin Cage able to bring him down. And that's what happens when you have a 2-year starter that experience. He didn't freak out when the pressure was coming at him. Just took off and ran for a first down.
Yes, and that's what makes him so dangerous. If you blitz him and you don't get to him, as they say, if you don't get home, he's going to burn you and make you pay for it with big runs like that.
22-yard run. The ball now up to the 45-yard line for the Gators. Peasant, a little bit more running room there, and he gets maybe 5. Frank Peasant last year was the leading tackler for Escambia with 74 tackles. They move him to running back this season, and he's been averaging 10 yards a carry.
Yes, Coach talked about it. They want to use him on offense. They need to use him on offense because of his athleticism. He may play some defense, as Coach Bennett told us earlier in the week, but he's a heck of an athlete, and Coach Bennett seems to think that he's an SEC caliber guy.
Don't miss any of the action. Go to yourview.com/football and sign up for the Game Time newsletter to get the previous week's highlight stories and recruiting news, along with a preview of the upcoming week's matchups delivered straight to your inbox. And next week, we will be at Live Oak, as Live Oak will be taking on West Feliciana, the defending champs in 3A. The Eagles already off to a 2-0 start. Brett Beard and his team came from behind to beat Mandeville last night. West Feliciana suffered a tight loss to Livonia last night. Should be a good one. It always is, from the Eagles' Nest at Live Oak High School in Livingston Parish. 2nd down and 5. As there you take a look at Peasant. Potential Southeastern Conference back with 4.5 speed. They run a jet sweep here. Blackman gets around the edge and picks up 7. Good open field tackle by Donovan Kaufman. But it's a 7-yard run, and I think there is an injured run. I think Kaufman got hurt after making that tackle, and they're going to bring the trainers from the other side to take a look at him.
Yes, Jalen Blackman, he's their speed guy. They like to get him the ball in space and let him make plays, and that's what he was able to do right there.
Hopefully for Kaufman, just a win knocked out of him. There's a look at Coach Jay Roth, legendary figure here in the New Orleans area with 220 victories. He's 35th all-time in Louisiana prep football history. This is his 24th season as a head coach at his alma mater. Named the school's athletic director in March, replacing the retiring Phil Greco. He's won 2 state championships, 12 Catholic League titles. Rummel played in 4 championship games between 2009 and 2015. Let's take a look at what happened at the end of the play and see if we can tell what happened here with Kaufman, who able to wrap up the ball carrier, and a lot of weights on his head.
Couldn't quite tell if that was his hand or his shoulder. Apparently he's okay, though. He's running off. That's a good sign. Great sign.
Rummel 7-4 last year, 6-5 the year before that. They were 2-4 in Catholic League play in 2015. That was their first losing record in the Catholic League since 2010, but there's a lot of optimism and expectations are high that Rummel can get back to the state championship game this year. Got a good opponent tonight, the Escambia Gators. Escambia ranked number 7 in Class 6A in the state of Florida. From the 42-yard line now, 1st and 10. Peasant showing some good ability to cut, break through some arm tackles, and he's starting to get warmed up here, Reggie. A 7-yard run.
Yeah, you're going to have to make solid tackles on Peasant. He's not a guy you're going to bring down with arm tackles.
And with, like a lot of good running backs, you might slow him down on that first drive, but eventually if you allow him to start getting into a rhythm and get going, it could be a long night for your defense. 2nd down and 3. Quick pass, and it's complete. And this could be a big play here for Escambia. Is heading down the sidelines is Jaden Blackman, who starts at cornerback, but there is a flag down at the 29-yard line, a 13-yard completion, but let's see what the penalty is about. Looks like it's going to be against Rummel. They're picking it up, actually. So the 13-play pass play stands. And now the football is at the 22-yard line.
That was a beautiful pass by A.B. Smith, by the way. That was just like a long handoff, but he executed. He threw the ball in front of his receiver so his receiver could catch it in stride and get up the field.
Smith has not been intercepted in 2 games this season. Peasant, another carry, gobbled up that time. Aaron Thomas, one of those interior linebackers for the Raiders there defensively. And there's Jordan Williams once again in on another stop. Last week, Rummel didn't give up a first down until the 3rd quarter in the win over Gulfport. And even though they got just 2 senior starters, they're actually more experienced than they were last year. A lot of juniors who started as sophomores last year, or at least saw significant playing time as sophomores last year.
Learning by fire, baby.
Yep.
Put them in the game and let them learn.
2nd and 10. Smith will just run for about a yard. Chased out of bounds by Rummel's Colby Fields. 3rd down and 9 coming up. Let's send it down to the field and Smacker Miles. Smacker?
Hey guys, I'm here with the Peak Performance injury update. Number 5, Donovan Kaufman, said that his head got forced back really hard. So he was on the bench stretching it out, and the trainers were checking out his neck. He said to one of the coaches, just a couple plays. So they're very hopeful that he'll be able to get back in this game. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Smacker. And as I look on the field, he is back out there. Number 5 is. Actually, nope, that was number 3. My fault. There was a penalty on Escambia. Never saw the flag on the field, but it was a big penalty.
I think it was blocking below the waist.
Blocking below the waist.
Yes.
Escambia's had issues with block in the backs. Have been a big problem. 2nd down and long. Smith winds up, single coverage, got a man, just let him too far. Detrius Giddon.
He was there just a little bit too far out in front of him, but he was definitely there.
Giddon only 5'7", but he's got some good speed, good hands.
If he was 5'10", Jeff, it may have been a touchdown.
If he was 5'10", he might be getting a lot of schools recruiting him too. With his speed, just too fast. As Malik Wittery was beaten on the play. 3rd and long. Escambia at least would like to pick up a few yards here to give it a chance on 4th down. 3rd and 25. Smith under pressure again. He will throw it, has a man who makes a diving grab. That's where the sticks were. The catch by Tony Broadnax, 15 yards, so now it's 4th and 10 from the 22. We'll see what Mike Bennett decides to do here.
Looking at this now, if AV gets this ball out to him, and if he can stay on his feet, he gets the 1st down. That ball was a little bit too far out in front of it, but he was still able to make the grab.
Escambia's field goal kicker, Ronnie Perez, made one from 37 yards to beat West Florida in the season opener for the Gators. 23-20. Escambia led in that game 20-0. Those are always frustrating games, huh, Reg?
For a coach, that made Coach Bennett want to pull his hair out. You get a big lead and then give it up.
But they still ended up winning it. They'll go for it on 4th down. Smith has time to throw. hoping somebody can get open into double coverage. It's incomplete. The receiver ran out of bounds anyways as Broadnax. Great coverage downfield by Rummel, and the Raiders defense comes up with the stand.
Great defense. Rummel playing the zone. They took away double team the main receiver. Bend but don't break. There you go. I think that's what Coach Roth wants to see. They're getting off the field and getting the ball back into the hands of their offense.
The 15-yard penalty, really big on that drive, stalled the Gators' momentum. And now the Raiders will take over from their own 23-yard line. And let's see what kind of adjustments Escambia's defense has made. Chandler Fields very sharp on the first drive, 2 of 3 for 26 yards, and he also ran for 20 yards, including that 18-yard touchdown run. Misdirection here, and a very solid run by Jalen Sturgis. Tackled by Noah Lord.
Sturgis has really great feet for a big guy. I mean, he can really move. He can give you a little something. Watch it. You know, he gets in there and he hits the hole, but then he's going to give him, like they used to say in old school, a little limp leg right there, Joe. See, there he is again. He has really great feet.
5-yard run, made a couple of defenders miss. Fields gets rid of it quickly to Jacob Renton, and Renton gets smashed on the play at the 30, only a pickup of 2. P.J. Sanders, the leader of that defensive secondary for Escambia, a physical player. And let's listen to this hit at the end of it. Good clean football there all the way around.
That was a woo!
3rd and 3. Can Escambia get off the football field? Bunch formation to the top of your screen. And they run away from it, and there's a lot of room for Sturgis to run. Down the sidelines he goes into Escambia territory. All the way up to the 40-yard line. Big play on 3rd and 3 for 30 yards.
The option play, that's the old school. That's not that run-pass option. That's the old school version of the veer triple option. Getting it to the big man Sturgis, him showing a little speed down the sideline, getting a big play out of that.
Of course, for so many years, the Rummel Raiders were run-heavy under Jay Roth. When Chandler Fields became the starting quarterback last year, they moved to the spread. 1st and 10 from the 40. Fields looking around, throwing deep, and incomplete.
Fields missed that one right there. He had the wheel route coming on, going down the sideline with, can't see the number there. I think that's number 86. Yeah, number 86. He had him on the wheel route, and he missed it. So
Zach Maribel was the intended receiver with P.J. Sanders all over him. 2nd down and 10. Sturgis to the right of Fields. Whistles and a flag. Rummel had a man in motion that time.
Dead ball, false start. Offense, number 65. 5 yards, still 2nd down.
That's the sophomore center for the Rummel Raiders, Teron Laborde. This offensive line, Coach Jay Roth thinks it's better than what he's had the last couple of years. Graham Jarrett, the offensive line coach in his 2nd season with Rummel. That's 3 offensive penalties now on the Raiders for 15 yards. Just over a minute to go in this opening quarter. Sturgis. Patient runner. And good job by Escambia's defense. Got a lot of orange helmets around the football that time. They'll bring up 3rd and long here for Rummel.
Yes, Escambia is swarming to the ball. I think they're really going to swarm to the ball once number 7, Sturgis, puts his hand on it again, because he's really been breaking off some big runs. So I think they're going to start keying on him.
Escambia only allowed 15 points a game last year. One of the best defenses in Northwest Florida. 3rd and 12. Coach Bennett, he's a defensive-minded coach. Escambia brings 5, and Fields is in trouble. He's in big trouble, and he goes down. coming in unblocked. That was Noah Lord, and you need to know where number 4 is.
Mr. Nasty coming off the edge that time.
15-yard loss.
Yes, Noah Lord coming off the edge on the blitz, unblocked, and Chandler cannot get away, and he's able to get him down. That's what you call getting home right there. That's what the coaches call that, coming off the edge and getting home.
That will be the final play of the first quarter as Escambia's defense finally gets off the field. Good first 12 minutes from Joe Yenny Stadium on a Saturday night in Jefferson Parish. The Rummel Raiders scored on its first drive of the night. Escambia will get the football when we come back. This is Game Time on Your View.
Okay, listen up. I know you offer great auto rates, local agents, fast, friendly claims, but do you want to be a legend? You got to get tough, kid. When I'm done with you, nothing's going to keep you down.
Great talk, Brett. Can we get back to your auto quote now?
All right, sure.
Great.
Get great auto rates and local agents at favrates.com from Farm Bureau Insurance.
How about some water?
No, thanks. I'm good.
Hey, Joe Martin here. You've seen our commercials over the years, and you may be wondering, what's in it for me? Well, ITI Technical College has been selected by Forbes magazine as a top 32-year college. But even more than that, the reason we do this is you. Our tagline is for a better life, and we mean that, for you to be able to have the life you've always dreamed about, to do the things for your family you've always dreamed about. And it can begin here, where we are dedicated to your success, because here at ITI, the reason we do it is you.
Come enjoy a great location just minutes away from the hustle and bustle of the city at Suma Lake Apartments. Experience luxurious living with all appliances included, granite countertops, and walk-in closets. Relax in a peaceful environment by the pool or enjoy fishing in a 9-acre lake. Kids are sure to enjoy the playground and basketball court. Located in Livingston Parish in a great school district. Call today, 225-686-1111.
Back here at Joe Yenny Stadium, Jeff Palermo and Reggie Flood and Smacker Miles down on the field. After the first negative play on offense for the Rummel Raiders, they will be punting the football. Jacob Renton had one punt last week for 27 yards, and now there's some movement on the line for Escambia. That will push the football up 5 yards, but it's
Dead
third
ball,
and long.
Encroachment. Defense, number 7. 5 yards. Still down.
Now, those are the kind of plays that drive a coach crazy. It's already third and long. Why are you jumping off sides? We don't have the punt block on. We're trying to get a return. Why are you jumping off sides?
Yeah, they got 2 men back to return. Does Escambia. P.J. Sanders is back there. And it's a high punt. I don't think this is returnable. And it takes an Escambia bounce, and it's down at the 31-yard line. .22-yard punt for Jacob Renton, the backup punter, as Patrick Vanderbrook continues to nurse a bad hip. So Escambia, this will be their third drive of the night. The last drive, they were going down the field, and then an illegal block stalled their drive, and they ended up turning the ball over on downs. They took over here at the 32-yard line. A.V. Smith, 6'1", 181 pounds. From the 32-yard line, Peasant picks up a couple. Earlier tonight, had a chance to talk with Rummel head coach Jay Roth about this defense that returned 6 starters from a year ago.
Well, they all played last year. I mean, they played as freshmen and sophomores, so they're all 1 year older, and that was showed last week, you know, by the way they played. But we need to see get off the field. Don't give up the big plays. Our problem over the years has been third downs, you know. Get up, whether it's 3rd and 13, 3rd and 2, we got to get off the field.
Last week, Rummel beating Gulfport 34-6 as Peasant runs, and he stumbles ahead for about 4. After that game, Coach Jay Roth talked a little bit about that 28-point win, saying that he loved the energy that he saw from his kids that night. last Friday. Played with a lot of energy. Seemed like they were having fun playing the game. The last 2 years, when you win 6 games or 7 games at Rummel, that's not a good season around here.
No, not at all. You know, people start to look at you funny.
Yeah. Big false start penalty here against the Gators. Eric Harris came out of his stance.
False start. Offense. Number 77.
Isaac Barrow, I should say.
Those kind of penalties are drive killers. You know, coaches, when they lay out their playbook and they're calling their plays, they have something that's called a schedule. They want to stay on schedule. Right there, Escambia was on schedule. They were 3rd and less than 5. The playbook is wide open. They could pass or run. Now it's an obvious pass down on 3rd down. So Rummel can kind of lay their ears back and come after the quarterback.
3rd down and 7. 4 penalties now on Escambia. A.V. Smith short hops his intended receiver, and Jalen Blackman can only catch it on 1 hop. So a frustrating drive there for the Gators, as A.V. Smith is just 2 of 7 for 29 yards.
Yeah, that was a big penalty that set them back. But A.V. Smith has to be able to set his feet and complete that pass, because if he makes a good pass, that's an easy 1st down. That's just all about fundamentals right there with A.V. Smith, squaring his shoulders, setting his feet, and making the easy pass.
And the snap goes over the punter's head. Jailbreak here now. Oh, it looks like they're just going to take the safety. So Tim Dortch just said, you know what, I'm going to pick it up. We'll give up the 2 points. Live to fight another day. So, boy, 3 bad plays in a row there for the Gators, and Rummel now leads at 8-0.
You know, that was a smart play by the punter, but it's awfully disappointing for Escambia. They were moving the ball. They seem to have some momentum. 3rd and short, get a big penalty, an incomplete pass, and now the center snaps the ball over the punter's head, and they take a safety. And that just swings momentum. That's a hard way to play a game, a hard way to recover.
Yeah, Dortch didn't even think twice about it. He didn't even look back to see where anybody was. So it's negative 34 yards. They lose on the play. And Mike Bennett, he was all smiles with us before the game. He's not laughing. He's not joking around now. They're down 8-0, and his offense has committed 2 crucial penalties in this game that have ended drives.
He's giving someone the evil eye now, including his coaching staff at the moment. Yeah, Coach Bennett, who's an affable guy, you know, he loves to have fun, but right now he's not happy because he wants to play good football. Oh, but there is the smile. He found something to smile about. Maybe that's a smile of frustration.
Yeah. So momentum clearly in Rummel's favor right now, as Escambia will kick it off from their own 20 after the safety. Ronnie Perez, the kicker, a senior, has it teed up, end over end, high kick, taken at the 37-yard line. And on the return, Jalen Sturgis up to midfield. Raiders got good field position. Already up by 8 with just over 10 minutes to go before halftime.
Tell you what, Jalen Sturgis is definitely getting his touches tonight.
Looks like a really good running back. Frustrating first 2 years here at Rummel with the broken foot. And then not really in much shape last year just because he was trying to come back from that injury. But he is the main running back for this Rummel offense, and with Coy Moore down with a hamstring injury, and Logan Diggs also hurt, a sophomore that Jay Roth and the Raiders coaching staff are very high on. They need Sturgis more than ever now. 1st and 10 at the 48. And Fields will keep it, turn back inside, and gets about a yard. Nice job by Damian Howley to force Fields up the field. Yes. And he only gets a yard.
Yes, that was a good job of him setting your edge and then making the tackle. That's what you want your defensive ends to do, especially in a 3-4. Get upfield and set the edge, force him back inside.
2nd down and 9. Fields only threw 5 interceptions last season. Smart quarterback. Really loves football, kind of a gym rat. Sturgis in all kinds of trouble here. Joseph Minor makes a major tackle there. A loss of about 5 or 6, forcing 3rd and long.
And there it is. Those defensive ends and linebackers, they're playing good disciplined football, getting out on the edge, setting it, making sure that running back has nowhere to go, and the linebacker comes up and makes the tackle.
Ilyas Akbar, who has 2 tackles for a loss on the year, also in on the play. 3rd down and 13 now. 2 wide receivers on each side of the formation for Fields. And he'll look to his left from a clean pocket, and it's incomplete. Great coverage on the far sidelines by Escambia's Tadarius Dunn.
Yes, that was a great job. Seems like Escambia is kind of mixing it up on defense. They zoned one side of the field and then went to man. They were man-to-man on the other side. Rummel wasn't able to get it in there, and all of a sudden we have a defensive struggle.
Keith Robertson, the intended receiver, unable to haul it in. Out to punt for Rummel. Once again is Jacob Renton. First punt went 22 yards. Good punt here. Wow, the returner does not call fair catch, dangerous, and Patrick Sanders brought down immediately at the 24. 33-yard punt by Renton, and Escambia now will get their 4th try at it here.
You know, they say you have to be fearless to be a punt returner. You either have to be fearless or a little crazy, or a combination of both. That was an example. No fair catch there. He wanted to return that one.
Got to have a little confidence too, right? I mean, you to know that you're going to be able to handle that ball with a tackler bearing down on you.
Yeah, all of the above.
1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. A.V. Smith has not gotten off to a fast start in this game. Now they try to get him going. Swing the ball out. And getting out of bounds was number 6. That's Detrius Gideon, who gets about 3 or 4. Defensively, Quentin Cage, a big-time hitter, and that Rummel secondary gets credited for the tackle. Gideon, 5 catches on the season coming into the contest. 2nd down and 6. Peasant has only been held to 20 yards rushing, gets a carry here. And a nice job by Rummel defensively. The first Raider there to get his hands on him, Colby Fields. And another 3rd down coming up.
That was a good play on both sides of the ball. A defensive guy filling the hole, and Peasant being able to make that defensive guy miss in the hole with the spin move and getting some positive yards.
3rd down and 2. Escambia just 1 of 4 on 3rd downs tonight. Smith barking out the signals. 3-down lineman for Rummel. They run the option, the pitch out to Peasant as they try to get him to the outside. He's got the 1st down and more. Drags a tackler for a few yards as he was finally brought down by Kyler Rodriguez, but a big pickup there for the Gators. 13-yard run, the longest of the night for Peasant.
Yes, Peasant, that was just a great concept on his play. Watch, they get the ball out to him wide. They bait the man in, and the corner is there. Peasant just takes the corner. That was a great concept, great play design right there.
Waiting for the block in the back there. It was close, Reggie, to spring Peasant to the outside. Another swing pass. Gideon shows a little giddy up, close to the 1st down marker. And now Escambia's got that rhythm going again on offense. Just some short, simple throws for A.V. Smith to try to get him in a groove here a little bit. That is a 1st down for the Escambia Gators.
Yes, and A.V. Smith, I've looked at him, the way he runs that play. That's a very good, very, very, very good job on that, getting the ball out there and letting him get the ball upfield.
Timeout been called on the field. 7:38 left to go in the 1st half. Rummel called the timeout. The Gators are on the move. Raiders lead it 8-0. This is Game Time on Your View.
Tonight's Game Time starting lineups are brought to you by ITI Technical College, your key to a better life. Check out the stories behind the games. Visit yourview.com/Louisiana.
Louisiana is unique. The food, the festivals, even the bugs. No, not mud bugs. Unwanted bugs like these. The ones you don't want crawling in your home or business. Trust the Shield from J&J Exterminating. We've been protecting Louisiana homes for over 50 years, earning the trust of our clients because we deliver what we promise. Protect your home from pests. Get the Shield from J&J Exterminating.
J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
Tonight's Game Time keys to the game are brought to you by Podna's Barbecue. Slow cooked, fall off the bone perfection, and the best baked beans in America. For more Game Time high school football coverage, check out yourview.com.
Escambia Gators on the move here as they trail the Archbishop Rummel Raiders 8-0 from Joe Yenny Stadium. Jeff Palermo, Reggie Flood, and Smacker Miles down on the field. Coach Mike Bennett. This is his second head coaching stop, was at Pensacola for 18 years and won a state championship in 2009. In fact, the principal of Escambia, Frank Murphy, Coach Mike Bennett coached him. So he really loves being at Escambia now. First down and 10 from the 43-yard line. Here's Peasant straight ahead. And a good open field tackle by Ron Franklin. But Peasant found some room and got about 5 yards there.
Yes. Great open field tackle by Franklin. But this is what you call staying on schedule. Coach Brett Bennett, the offensive coordinator, moving the ball 3, 4, 5 yards on first down. Escambia is right on schedule right now.
From the 38-yard line, second time Escambia has crossed the 50-yard line tonight. Peasant another carry as that offensive line starting to push back Rummel's front four, and there's another first down as Peasant gets to the 30-yard line.
Yes, Escambia's big. I should add one more big offensive line is starting to lean on Rummel a little bit.
Yeah, their smallest offensive lineman weight-wise is 280 pounds. That's big. That's some big boys up front. First and 10. Peasant now up to 46 yards rushing. Smith keeps it, and he gets about 7.
They're doing a good job of keeping Rummel off balance. If you noticed on that play, everybody keyed on Peasant. A.V. Smith was able to keep the ball and get good positive yards right there.
Second down and 3. Another pass out to the flat, and it is caught, I believe, but it's for no yardage. Grabbing the football for Escambia was Jaden Blackman. Now we have the hydration timeout with 6:01 to go before halftime. And a big third down coming up for Escambia.
Jalen Blackman, if I'm not mistaken, is Jalen Blackman related to Trent Richardson? Is that his nephew?
Yes, yes.
I thought I remembered that Jalen Blackman was Trent Richardson, the former Alabama running back and first-round pick, among other things. That's his nephew.
No, it was Jabari Taylor.
Jabari Taylor.
Was the
Okay.
nephew.
And I knew he had a nephew on the team.
As Escambia's offense huddles up here. Not playing tonight for the Rummel Raiders, the USC commitment. There he is, Coy Moore. He's all smiles right now. And unfortunately not able to see him play here tonight. But a nice wave to the camera. But he is heading to USC. And one of the main reasons why, or maybe the biggest reason why, is to follow in the footsteps of Joe McKnight, who, of course, had a legendary career at John Curtis High School and went on to play at USC. And Coy Moore has always looked up to Joe McKnight. So he wants to follow Joe McKnight there. And in that little cartoon there, Joe McKnight is saying, "Finish what I started." Third down and 3. Smith gets away from the pressure, fighting for that first down, but I think he's just short. We'll bring up fourth down and inches.
think Escambia is going to have to go for it right here. They're kind of in a no man's land. I don't know if they trust the kicker enough to be able to do this, even though he was effective for them last week. 4th and short, with the weapons that they have, I think they're going to go for it.
A.V. Smith. They stay in their shotgun formation here, or like a pistol formation. And here we go, Peasant. He's got the first down. He was hit at the line of scrimmage, but dragged a tackler, and they convert on 4th down that time. They're now 1 of 2 on 4th downs for tonight, and they move the football inside the red zone. It is the ITI Technical College red zone on this second quarter. Now, the last time they got down to this point, a big 15-yard penalty halted their drive. So if they can stay away from the penalty, they might be able to punch it in with less than 5 minutes to go. This is the 11th play of this drive. Jet sweep to the near side. Staying on his feet is Jalen Blackman. Another first down for the Gators. As Ron Franklin in on the stop for the Raiders, but we saw this in the first quarter when they were really mixing it up between the run and the pass. And they've done a nice job here as Escambia, and they're keeping Rummel off guard. Brett Bennett is the offensive coordinator for Escambia. That's the son of Coach Mike Bennett.
Yes. We got a chance to talk before the game. He's a guy who went to Jackson State in the SWAC, one of Baton Rouge's Southern University's rivals. So I got a chance to talk to him. He's a great guy.
First and goal at the 6-yard line. A.V. Smith stumbles forward at the 5-yard line. We spoke, he got kind of pushed by Frank Peasant.
He got pushed forward by Frank Peasant.
I think Frank was saying, look, man, there's a hole right there. Just start running. Don't wait. Let's watch it again here.
Like, if you're not going to give me the ball, get in there and run it.
Yeah. Maybe he kind of collided with him and then just decided to push him forward.
Yeah, a slight mix-up right there.
2nd and goal from the 5. Peasant now. Oh, good job. And he fumbles the ball. It's still loose. Mad scramble for it, and I think the Raiders got it. What a huge mistake for the Gators.
Wow.
Inside the red zone.
Wow, what a big play. Driving, you're right on schedule, and the guy who you count on fumbles the ball. What a tough break.
Kyler Rodriguez finally pounced on it. And a huge break for Rummel. Ooh, very close on whether he was down on that play, Reggie. We'll need to maybe see that one again.
Yes, there's no review in high school.
No review. I mean, it's bang, bang.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he probably was down on that play, but got to hold on to the football.
So now 1st and 10 for the Raiders at the 19-yard line. And now we see Sturgis run the ball. Well, we talked about it before the game about how Rummel has been the team that's struggled in the red zone over the last couple of seasons. Tonight, it's Escambia. 2 drives inside the red zone and 0 points to show for it. So 2nd and 5 for Rummel. Looking for somewhere to run, and that time, well, Sturgis just keeps moving the pile forward enough for a first down. And the Rummel fans on the near sidelines like that effort there by Jalen Sturgis.
This is turning into a physical football game. You can hear the pads popping, those kind of tough plays. The linemen get in there and push the pile. It's turning into a real physical, tough football game.
2 teams that are led by head coaches who like running the football. Mike Bennett and Jay Roth. And they got 2 big backs this season. And limited at the wide receiver position. Now nothing happening there. Escambia all over that play defensively. Jesse Salisbury, 5 tackles on the year, wraps up the receiver and throws him down for a loss of a yard.
Yeah, Salisbury did an excellent job of sniffing that play out and getting in trail position and running down the receiver on that bubble screen.
So they'll bring up 2nd down and 11. Last year we were supposed to televise this game on Game Time, and that would have been the matchup between Jacob Copeland, the standout wide receiver for Escambia, and Jamar Chase, the standout wide receiver for Rummel. As Fields is on the run. He's got the first down and more. Takes a huge hit at the end there. There's flags. I thought the flags were thrown before the hit, though.
There was a block in the back, and then I think they called Escambia for hitting Chandler out of bounds. So I think these penalties are going to end up offsetting.
Well, one might be a dead ball foul, so let's see how this all gets situated. The officials continue to sort it out.
We assess 10-yard net penalty. Ball foul, personal foul for the late hit out of bounds, defense.
So a 17-yard run. They assessed a 10-yard penalty on the block in the back, and then because of the penalty against Escambia happening after the whistle, 15 yards, gets walked off against Escambia. In the end, it results in a first down, and the ball's kind of where it was supposed to be after Fields' run.
Exactly. You know, I know you wondered what I was doing, Jeff, but I was telling the official he had gone too far. He did, and he took the ball back about a yard and a half.
Oh, a low snap here, and this is trouble. Escambia trying to jump on it. Rummel looked like they weren't interested in getting on the football, and it's going to be Gators ball. Loss of 16.
Wow.
I think Rummel thought the play was whistled dead. I mean, Sturgis was just kind of watching that ball roll past. Didn't go down and get it. And the Gators get a big turnover here with 2 minutes to go before halftime.
Yeah, it seemed like nobody was interested. Watch, the ball just rolls by, nobody moves. See, quarterback, then Sturgis, nobody moves until.
Yeah.
Wow. and I think they thought that it was a dead ball. I think they thought that the center snapped it because Escambia was offsides, but nobody actually moved during the play. What a break for Escambia.
Jabari Taylor recovers the fumble. He had a touchdown for a defensive score on a fumble, and now they swing it out. This is Peasant, I believe, up to the 37-yard line as they get him the ball out to the outside, and it was Peasant. They like those swing passes, Reggie.
Yes. A.V. Smith, that seems to be what he's best at, getting the ball on the swing pass and getting it out in space to his playmakers, and he gets it to them in a good position where they don't have to break stride and they can get upfield.
2nd down and 8. They're going to have to push the ball here. There's less than 90 seconds to go. Another swing pass, looking for a block. Running hard, trying to at least get out of bounds, and he does. Jalen Blackman, who has 4 catches on the season, did not play last year as a freshman. He also sees some time at cornerback as well, as we've seen him on the defensive side. 3rd down and short here for Escambia. 1:20 to go. The Gators got all 3 of their timeouts as Smith gets the troops up to the line of scrimmage. Peasant, nowhere to run. Raiders all over it. Jordan Williams again in the backfield. He's fired up.
4th down. Escambia taking a timeout right here.
With a minute 13 left. There's no blocking at all there by Escambia as the Raiders were in the backfield very quickly.
Yeah, they loaded the box right there. They were expecting them to go to Peasant, and that's exactly what they did. They were in the backfield before he even got the ball.
Evans Brown was one of the defenders back there. The defensive coordinator, Nick Monica, for the Rummel Raiders, providing instructions to his guys. And Game Time on Your View Louisiana thanks Louisiana Lift for their support of this telecast, specializing in customer service on equipment, rentals, parts, and training. Louisiana Lift has been serving its customers since 1980. You can check them out online at lalift.com, or you can call their New Orleans area office at 504-463-3400. Louisiana Lift, they're always on call. Coming up at halftime, we'll have our teacher and scholars of the week from these two respective schools. We'll have some first half highlights, a lot of hitting through the first 24 minutes of this football game, as the Rummel Raiders lead it 8-0, and Escambia is facing a 4th down. With the football just inside the 27-yard line. Need to get about a yard. Trips to the far side. And Escambia needs to burn another timeout.
Out, Escambia.
So now they're down to one timeout.
Wow. That's a big timeout right there.
Escambia has a proud tradition. They won state championships in Florida in 1984 and 85. And guess who their running back was back then? That's right, NFL Hall of Famer Emmitt Smith. And when Emmitt Smith finished his career at Escambia, he was the second leading rusher in high school football history. That's not just Florida, but that's the entire United States.
Yes. The great Emmitt Smith, one of the greatest of all times. I can remember my sophomore year in high school, Escambia played Bel Air High out from Baton Rouge, and Escambia beat them 59-0, and Emmitt Smith had 244 yards in the first half.
Went on to Florida, of course, and then had the Hall of Fame career with the Dallas Cowboys, and he had the Arizona Cardinals too, but we tend to forget that, or try to forget that.
Yes.
4th down and short. They're going to throw it. Smith gets hit as he throws to the end zone. Double coverage. Did he catch it? No. Incomplete. Wow.
Heck of a play throwing in the double coverage there. And you know what? That's a great job by the Rummel defense, because Escambia went against plan there. They went against trend. You would think that they would line up and run the ball. They run a little play action and try to get somebody over the top, but Rummel is ready for it. They have a corner and a safety back there throwing in a double coverage. Great attempt to make a play, but nothing happening back there.
Jaden Blackman, the intended receiver, is Smith. Just got hit as he delivered it, but it was still on the money. But two defenders back there. Donovan Kaufman knocking that football away, and Malik Woodery was also there. So the Raiders come up with another defensive stand, and even though Escambia didn't get to the red zone that time, that's still 3 trips deep into Rummel territory, and they come away with 0 points. Now it looks like Rummel will just kneel it here and get out of this, or at least run it with Sturgis, and go into the locker room up 8-0. And Rummel will have the football first in the second half.
Yeah, I think that first play kind of determined what Rummel was going to do, whether they were going to try to put some points on the board if they had gotten a big play there, or whether they'll just take it into the half, because they still have 2 timeouts.
Well, 2 old school coaches here, so maybe not a big surprise that it's just 8-0. But Escambia shot themselves in the foot. Some penalties, the big turnover inside the red zone, and I would think that Jay Roth feels very fortunate to have the 8-0 lead.
Yes, they do, and especially after that big fumble deep in their own territory.
And for Rummel, they got to get something going offensively. We have not seen them really march the football at all since that opening drive of the night that was completed with the touchdown run by Chandler Fields. Then they got the gift, 2 points on the bad snap. So Escambia, not a very good 24 minutes of football. Rummel has been steady in this game, and they'll look to try to expand that lead once they get the football to begin the second half.
Yes.
Rummel Raiders trying to improve to 2-0 on the season. Escambia looking to get to 3-0. As Jay Roth has got his guys heading into the locker room, he will spend a few minutes talking with Smacker Miles. And for Mike Bennett, he's going to tell his guys, quit making the silly mistakes. Send it down to the field and Smacker Miles. Smacker?
Coach, your offense starts out hot but stalls a little bit in the second quarter. How can they regain that momentum?
Oh, we just got to calm down at halftime. That was some bad football offensively after the first drive. That was horrendous football.
Defensively, you force a turnover, and on special teams, you get that safety. How have they been able to have such an impact?
Well, we're lucky that we got 8-0 up there. I mean, offensively, we've been total flop. Defense has gotten off the field. Special teams got us 2 points. So I'm not very happy with one side right now.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
For Rummel on their first drive, they went 58 yards. After that, just 70 yards of total offense for the Raiders, but they still lead at 8-0 over Escambia. This is Game Time on Your View.
Game Time Halftime is brought to you by Podna's Barbecue. Slow cooked, fall off the bone perfection, and the best baked beans in America. Gary Lewis Property. From apartments, condominiums, and townhomes, Gary Lewis Properties is a top provider in Baton Rouge of residential and commercial property for rent. Monogram Express. We make ordinary gifts extraordinary. And by Louisiana Lift. And Louisiana Lift, we're always on call. Check out yourview.com for in-depth high school football coverage.
When I tore my ACL, I didn't think I'd ever be able to play soccer again. My doctor told me how important physical therapy would be, so I chose Peak. I'm glad I did. Now I'm stronger, faster, better than ever. Choose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
When I get back to Baton Rouge, I get in my blues mobile and I drive right on down to Partner's Barbecue. And you know what I do? I get me some ribs, all tender too. Some baked beans, some potato salad, some smoked sausage. You got to come on down to Partner's Barbecue, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, Joe Martin here. You've seen our commercials over the years, and you may be wondering, what's in it for me? Well, ITI Technical College has been selected by Forbes magazine as a top 32-year college. But even more than that, the reason we do this is you. Our tagline is for a better life, and we mean that, for you to be able to have the life you've always dreamed about, to do the things for your family you've always dreamed about. And it can begin here, where we are dedicated to your success, because here at ITI, the reason we do it is you.
Exercising is my life, so when I had to stop because of my foot and ankle pain, I was absolutely devastated. I chose Peak, and they taught me how to relieve the pain. They really do bring out the athlete in everyone. Choose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Tonight's Game Time League standings are brought to you by Crown Trophy. Check out the stories behind the games. Visit yourview.com/Louisiana.
Halftime from Joe Yenny Stadium, and our halftime broadcast here brought to you by West Feliciana Parish. Earlier this week, Smacker Miles had a chance to talk with one of our great sponsors of Game Time. That's Peak Performance Physical Therapy. Take it away, Smacker.
We're at Peak Performance Physical Therapy. I'm joined by Patrick Cook. They see these high school players as soon as they get injured. So tell me about that process from when the guy gets hurt until they get back on the field.
Well, in the case of football, somebody gets hurt, they're laying down, we'll run out onto the field to assess them, usually us, an athletic trainer and a medical doctor. Hopefully, if we have the right team set forth on the sidelines, we'll all go out there and look at the athlete. And then, depending on what's going on, if it's something minor, we'll work with them on the sideline, trying to get them back to what they want to do. If it's more intense, then they may need to get in to see the physician on Monday morning, and they may end up in our clinic on Monday afternoon. So they may come to Mid-City to see me, may go to one of our other 7 locations across Baton Rouge, and we're going to work with that athlete a couple days a week to try to get them back as soon as we can. First, we got to get their pain better. We got to get their motion restored. We got to get them stronger. Once they're in that position, then it's a return to play program. That's where we are working with the trainers and the strength coaches at the schools to try to get them back to that high level of performance that athletes need to be at so they can get back and not re-injure themselves on the field.
How important is for these guys to get immediate medical attention, whether it's minor or major?
Well, it's important to have the proper team in place on the sidelines. If there's a cardiac event or a cervical spinal cord injury, you need to have medical attention immediately on the field, and that can be the difference between life and death. And a lot of these other cases, you know, a lot of times, thankfully, they're just minor injuries, but it's important to have them taken care of as efficiently as possible.
Thanks, Patrick.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot to Peak Performance Physical Therapy and Smacker Miles, and our halftime show again brought to you by West Feliciana Parish. And we are at halftime here at Joe Yenny Stadium as the festivities continue here. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll tell you who our scholars and teachers of the week are. So stay tuned for that.
Well, I've had back pain now and then, but it got so bad I couldn't even bend over. I didn't want to resort to pain pills, so I chose Peak, hoping they could relieve the pain. They got me active again. I even lost weight. I believe in better. I chose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Okay, listen up. I know you offer great auto rates, local agents, fast, friendly claims, but do you want to be a legend? You got to get tough, kid. When I'm done with you, nothing's going to keep you down.
Great talk, Brett. Can we get back to your auto quote now?
All right, sure.
Great.
Get great auto rates and local agents at favrates.com from Farm Bureau Insurance.
How about some water?
No, thanks. I'm good.
Come enjoy a great location just minutes away from the hustle and bustle of the city at Suma Lake Apartments. Experience luxurious living with all appliances included, granite countertops, and walk-in closets. Relax in a peaceful environment by the pool or enjoy fishing in a 9-acre lake. Kids are sure to enjoy the playground and basketball court. Located in Livingston Parish in a great school district. Call today, 225-686-1111.
I think that people want to be in West Feliciana because it's truly one of the unique parts of Louisiana. That if you live in West Feliciana, you can have it all. You can have a great lifestyle, a government that works for you and is open and transparent. You can have wonderful neighbors. You can have a great school. You can live in an environment that's free of fear from crime. We're less than 20 minutes from the Baton Rouge Airport, 30 minutes from the state capitol. What we have in West Feliciana is a place where you really can have it all.
I spent years suffering from knee pain, so I decided to have replacement surgery. My doctor did a great job, and he allowed me to choose Peak for my PT. I should have done this a long time ago. I'm so glad I chose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Tonight's Game Time Player of the Game is brought to you by ITI Technical College, your key to a better life. Check out the stories behind the games. Visit yourview.com/Louisiana.
Welcome to the West Feliciana Parish Halftime Show, live from Joseph Yenny Stadium. Now we have Teacher of the Week, Mrs. Wetzel. Mrs. Wetzel is an 8th grade science teacher here at Rummel, and she's celebrating 30 years with Rummel. Tell me a little bit about your history with Rummel.
Oh, it starts a long time ago. Brothers, uncles all went to Rummel. When I got to high school, I became a Rummel cheerleader. My sister was a Rummel cheerleader. I coached the Rummel cheerleaders, and then that turned into a teaching position. My kids went to Rummel. My son graduated, and then my daughter was homecoming queen, and then I have another one who'll be involved at Rummel when she gets to high school. So our family's been involved at Rummel for a very long time.
You told me you've had opportunities to leave, but that the people at Rummel kept you. Talk about that.
At the end of the day, we have great leadership. We have wonderful students. Our faculty and staff, so awesome. Not only are they incredible teachers, but they're just great people, human beings. They're just great souls and blessings at our school. And of course, we have great families. Our kids are great. The students are great. Our parents are great. Our community is what's kept me here the whole time.
What kind of an impact do you want to have on those 8th graders that you see every day?
First of all, being a Catholic school, we have to inspire them to stay close to God and become children of God. And then my second passion is to teach them about the world around them through science, to be innovative and creative in the classroom and make sure we're on the cutting edge using technology and teaching them about problem solving so they can be the next leaders of our world.
Mrs. Wetzel has seen a lot of high school football at Rummel. She said she's really passionate about it. When her kids went to high school here, they would take all the families out to dinner after and everything. But she said tonight is a really special halftime show with a huge dragon behind us. Talk about a little bit about that.
The dragon is being revealed tonight. We've been working very hard on our new prop. The band's very proud of our new prop. The engineering class got involved to help it work. Hopefully behind us you'll see she'll start breathing fire in a little while. So it's kind of a fun night for us and the band revealing the dragon.
It is. It's really cool. Thank you, Miss Wetzel.
Okay.
Now it's time for our Student of the Week, also from Rummel. This is Michael. He's a senior at Rummel, and I heard he's involved in a lot of different activities at Rummel. What all do you do?
So I'm in 2 sports right now, cross country and soccer. I'm in a ton of clubs as well, including Latin Club, ambassadors. I'm trying to get involved more into the student council aspect. Just being at Rummel all day and all night.
How has Rummel impacted your life?
Well, my dad's worked at Rummel since before I was born, so I've always been part of the Raider family my whole life.
Thank you, Michael. We have much more live from Joe Yenny Stadium coming up after this break.
Hey, Joe Martin here. You've seen our commercials over the years, and you may be wondering, what's in it for me? Well, ITI Technical College has been selected by Forbes magazine as a top 32-year college. But even more than that, the reason we do this is you. Our tagline is, for a better life, and we mean that, for you to be able to have the life you've always dreamed about, to do the things for your family you've always dreamed about. And it can begin here, where we are dedicated to your success, because here at ITI, the reason we do it is you.
When I get back to Baton Rouge, I get in my blues mobile and I drive right on down to Partner's Barbecue. And you know what I do? I get me some ribs, all tender too. Some baked beans, some potato salad, some smoked sausage. You got to come on down to Partner's Barbecue, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Come enjoy a great location just minutes away from the hustle and bustle of the city at Suma Lake Apartments. Experience luxurious living with all appliances included, granite countertops, and walk-in closets. Relax in a peaceful environment by the pool or enjoy fishing in a 9-acre lake. Kids are sure to enjoy the playground and basketball court. Located in Livingston Parish in a great school district. Call today, 225-686-1111.
Okay, listen up. I know you offer great auto rates, local agents, fast friendly claims, but do you want to be a legend? You got to get tough, kid. When I'm done with you, nothing's going to keep you down.
Great talk, Brett. Can we get back to your auto quote now?
All right, sure.
Great.
Get great auto rates and local agents at favrates.com from Farm Bureau Insurance.
How about some water?
No, thanks. I'm good.
Hi, my name is Michael Oden, local Farm Bureau agent here in St. Tammany Parish. One of the things that we like to do is give back to our local community. We come out to the high schools and we do the game of the week, talk to the coaches, run around and talk to the different people that we see in the crowd. You know, we try to get involved in the local athletics as much as possible, go out to the local high schools, and we do crawfish cook-offs usually out there. The best part about it is we get to meet people in the community, we get to talk to our clients, get to talk to our customers, and we get to develop a different relationship with them. Because when they see you out here sweating over a grill, serving them some food, talking to them about things that you're doing in the community, they have a good time with you. And it breaks down that barrier of, this guy is too serious all the time. This guy's more of a fun guy, he enjoys himself. He's probably going out to the game on a Friday night to catch a football game and talk to the coaches and walk around the crowd. That's how one of the ways that we live out our motto, real service, real people.
The West Feliciana Parish halftime show continues from Joe Yenny Stadium in Jefferson Parish as the Rummel Raiders leading the Escambia Panthers from Florida. 8-0 is the score in a game where we thought we might see this be a high-scoring game, Reggie. This is Jeff Palermo and Reggie Flood. And because Rummel scores on the first drive, but after that, both teams have been kind of shooting themselves in the foot, and the offenses can't get into the end zone.
Yeah, Jeff, we see a lot of athletes out there, but we don't see a lot of playmaking going on. Right. And it's been a lot of penalties in this game. Like you said, we thought we'd see a high-scoring game, but it's kind of been a defensive ball. Not kind of. It has been a defensive ball game so far. So if they can eliminate the penalties, I believe we'll see some more scoring in the second half.
I believe so. Let's take a look at the first 24 minutes of action here as Rummel did get on the scoreboard early in this contest. After their defense forces Escambia on a 3-and-out. Rummel's D has played very well all game, pitching a shutout right now. And then Chandler Fields, this is our only touchdown of the night, an 18-yard run, giving the Raiders a 6-0 lead. They missed the extra point. Escambia driving down into Rummel territory. A.B. Smith's pass on 4th down. They come up well short of the first down. We've seen a lot of Jalen Sturgis running the football, and we've seen a lot of Frank Peasant running the football, but a crucial turnover deep in Rummel territory. Raiders finally fall on the ball, and let's take a look at our first half stats. And total yards, Escambia actually leading, Reggie, but they probably should have even more yards. They lost yards on that fumble and then a bad snap that led to a safety, or else they would really be dominating the total yards statistic.
Yes, Rummel, I tell you what, Escambia has had their opportunities. They just hadn't been able to take advantage of them. If they don't take advantage of them and they keep giving Rummel opportunities, Rummel's a veteran team with a great coach. They're going to put this game away.
And Rummel will get the ball to begin the second half. So the second half will come up right after this commercial break. More coming up. This is Game Time on Your View.
This throbbing neck pain was so bad it moved to my shoulders and was causing severe headaches. Then a friend suggested I choose Peak. 2 weeks later, the pain was completely gone. So glad I chose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Hey, Joe Martin here. You've seen our commercials over the years, and you may be wondering, what's in it for me? Well, ITI Technical College has been selected by Forbes magazine as a top 32-year college. But even more than that, the reason we do this is you. Our tagline is for a better life, and we mean that, for you to be able to have the life you've always dreamed about, to do the things for your family you've always dreamed about. And it can begin here, where we are dedicated to your success, because here at ITI, the reason we do it is you.
Louisiana is unique. The food, the festivals, even the bugs. No, not mud bugs. Unwanted bugs like these. The ones you don't want crawling in your home or business. Trust the Shield from J&J Exterminating. We've been protecting Louisiana homes for over 50 years, earning the trust of our clients because we deliver what we promise. Protect your home from pests. Get the Shield from J&J Exterminating.
J&J Exterminating. Yeah. Do you need to say great job, congratulations, or way to go? Crown Trophy on Sherwood Forest Boulevard in Baton Rouge has the trophy, plaque, acrylic, or crystal award you're looking for. Whether it's for your team, business, or church, come to Crown Trophy. We guarantee the highest level of customer service, and there's no charge for rush orders or trophy engraving. We're nationally known and locally owned. Visit us online to view our catalog at www.crowntrophy.com.
My shoulder pain got so bad I couldn't lift anything overhead. So I chose Peak Performance, and I can't believe how much better I am now. Peak really does get you back into the game of life. Choose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Tonight's Game Time Play of the Game is brought to you by Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Ready to serve you with auto insurance, homeowners insurance, life insurance, and more. Real service, real people.
Moments away from the start of the second half. Let's send it down to the field and Smacker Miles.
As I just talked to Escambia head coach Mike Bennett, and he said that his team just played the worst half of football that they've played all year. He jumped around a lot. He touched on things from offense, defense, and special teams that he thought that they did wrong that should never happen. He said that that is not his team and that they are in this game and they have plenty of ways to win it in the second half. But he kept coming back to their blocking. He said that they just need to block. They were down in the red zone, and he blamed that turnover on the blocking. Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Smacker. Good stuff there. And yeah, we thought that Escambia would be able to dominate the line of scrimmage more than they've done so far tonight. I mean, Rummel's defense is really giving the Gators offensive line fits. We thought with that big offensive line that Escambia has that they would have success running the ball. Taking it on one hop here is Donovan Kaufman. Kaufman's got a seam. Kaufman into the Escambia territory. All the way to the 27-yard line. Big time return and a jolt of energy here at Joe Yenny Stadium.
That's a big return, and that's exactly what Coach Bennett did not want to see, and a flag just went down.
65 yards, but a block in the back, and this is coming back.
Big break for Escambia, because I know Coach Bennett would have been distraught, but look at this play. He's there. He gets the hole. Let's see if we can see where the...
It's around the 50-yard line, so I don't know. And it's obviously nowhere near where Kaufman's returning. So an unfortunate break there mistake there for Rummel, and a good break for Escambia.
Doing a return, blocking the back on the receiving team. 10 yards, first down.
Wow, that's a big penalty, a big return and a big penalty.
5 penalties for Rummel for 35 yards, 5 penalties for Escambia for 45. And the Raiders now will start this drive at their own 43-yard line.
The Raiders still have the ball in good field position, though.
Chandler Fields back out there. From the 43-yard line. Sturgis. Oh, he got met at the line of scrimmage. There is Mr. Nasty.
There's that man again.
Oh, Lord. The 3-year starter delivering a blow to Jalen Sturgis.
There goes that man again. Number 4 playing the middle linebacker. Look, just putting the hat right in the chest. That's textbook right there.
Gain of 2 for Sturgis. Raiders will operate from the 45-yard line. Rachel in motion. And they try to get it to him, and he dropped the ball. 3rd down now. Just like that. What a turn of events here, Reggie. You thought you had the ball inside the 30-yard line, block in the back, drop pass, and all of a sudden it's 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, this is one of those times where the offensive coordinator, he's going through his playbook and he's wondering, this is obvious passing down. He knows these guys can lay their ears back and come after him, so he's going to have to get rid of the ball quick right here.
Fields just 4 of 8 for 27 yards as they set up the screen, and they got blocking. This is going to be a first down for Sturgis as he gets bumped out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Nice play call there by the passing game coordinator, Bobby Sanders.
Great play call right there. Screen. You got the guys are being aggressive, a little over aggressive, not tracing their steps. Screen comes wide open, only one guy out there. 15
yards on 3rd and long. And now the ball is at the Escambia 40-yard line. Sturgis having a big game. He needed to step up his game with the injury to Coy Moore. Knew he was going to get probably even more touches than he did last week when he carried the ball 20 times. He gets it again here on 1st down and gets a couple yards. Tyshawn Edwards, who has 8 tackles on the year coming into the game. A senior on the stop.
Rummel's starting to look like the old Rummel.
Yeah, 68 yards rushing for Sturgis to go along with the 1 catch for 15 yards. 3 wide receivers on this set. More Sturgis up the middle, carrying a tackler. He'll be about 2 yards shy of the first down.
Rummel is lining up and just running the ball right at Escambia right now.
So now with the football at the 33-yard line, they need to get 3 yards. Check with me at the sidelines. They run the option and Fields kept it and he got covered up quickly. Joseph Minor in on another tackle. Brings up a big 4th down early in the 3rd quarter.
Joseph Minor has done a really good job from that end position, setting the edge and defending the option right there. He set the edge, forced him back inside, and then was able to make the tackle. He's done that. He's done that a couple of times tonight. He's doing an excellent job.
4th and 3. And if Fields can't handle the snap, not sure if Escambia covered it up. Doesn't matter. They did. Noah Landry did get the loose football and a turnover. And the Panthers, or excuse me, the Gators come away with another big defensive stand.
Yes, it was. That was an excellent defensive stand. They were able to get him in 4th down and cause the fumble. Look at that bad snap. Hits Chandler Fields right in the hands.
2nd turnover for Rummel, and the 2nd time it's on a snap. The last time Fields, the snap was way too low for Fields to handle.
Yeah, there's some communication issues between here and the center because that ball seemed to be snapped early. And just like the other one, even though it was on the ground, it was snapped early. That ball hit him right in the hands.
A little bit of confusion in the backfield here for Escambia as they got a running back there, Kyrie Hall. And do we got a penalty? Mike Bennett questioning why a flag was thrown on the far sidelines.
Sideline warning.
Yeah, sideline warning. First and 10 at the 34 after the sideline warning. They pitched to Hall, and Rummel again in the backfield, and finishing that play off was Jordan Williams. Another tackle for a loss.
That play was doomed from the beginning. Rummel had 8 men in the box. They only had 1 safety deep, 1 safety high. So that play was never going to work anyway. That's one of those plays where if this was college, they would have audibled out of that play and gone to a pass play, but that wasn't going to work from the very start.
Kaufman also there defensively for the 4-yard loss. 2nd down and 14. Hall stays out there in the backfield as Escambia tries to show Rummel a different look with 2 running backs. Smith will throw. And it's complete to Chris Hale. Hale struggling to get that first down. He'll be about a 3-yard short. Quentin Cage in on the stop. A 10-yard play, actually 11 yards on the catch there for Chris Hale, his 2nd of the season.
Tell you what, Jeff, A.B. Smith has a strong arm. He was on the hash. He was on the left hash, and he threw that thing all the way across the field like a dart and hit his guy right there in the chest. That's a long toss. I don't care college or high school. That's a long throw, and he was very accurate with that.
Under 8 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Big 3rd down coming up here for Escambia, down by 8. Smith delivers a strike for a 1st down. And deep into Rummel territory. To the 32-yard line, that's Chris Hale again, who's got some speed, and he showed it off after the catch, 27 yards.
A.V. Smith showing off his passing ability. Chris Hale grabbing that ball. I think if he catches that clean, he may have scored on that play. Watch this. He kind of juggles it. If he catches that clean, I think he splits these 2 guys, and he goes in for a touchdown.
Woodry on the tackle. Smith now running around. Throws the football, trying to keep a foot in bounds. Did he? Yes, he did. Great catch on the far sideline. And they are feeding Chris Hale right now, and he is showing up, the 5'10" junior.
Big time catch right there. I'm liking A.V. Smith. He's showing some real good fundamentals. Oh, way to get both feet down. Beautiful.
That?
Great camera work, by the way.
That was impressive. 25 yes. At the 25-yard line now are the Gators. They go to Chris Hale again. That time Rummel was starting to shade towards him. He was able to dodge one tackler, can't dodge the second and third tackler that come in. Littery finally knocked him out of bounds, a gain of a yard. So Chris Hale, who had one catch coming into the second half on the season, has caught the last 4 passes from A.V. Smith.
Yes, and if I'm Escambia now, you have Rummel coming up on that ball, I may try to slip another receiver deep and do a pump fake and try to slip a receiver down the seam.
2nd and 9. Pistol formation. Peasant gets the ball. Again, more penetration into the backfield, led by Rummel's Jalen Johnson, a senior.
Another flag. Looks like it's going to be some kind of personal foul, some kind of dead ball foul.
Big call coming up here. Either it'll be 3rd and long for Escambia or maybe a first down possibly. And it looks like it's going to go against Rummel. Jay Roth not happy.
Dead ball, personal foul. Defense number 45. Half the distance.
Wow, big penalty there against Kyler Rodriguez, who had a fumble recovery in the second quarter. This is going to push the ball back into the red zone. That is 6 penalties now on the Raiders for 50 yards. And Escambia once again inside the red zone, and the red zone sponsored by Gary Lewis Properties here in this third quarter. From the 12-yard line. Smith changes the play. Play action fake. Complete to the near side, trying to make a move is Gideon, and he's in the end zone. Detrius Gideon scores, and it's a 2-point game.
That's just one-on-one. I'm going to get my guy one-on-one with your guy, and we're going to see who wins the battle right there.
Second touchdown pass of the season for Smith. The first touchdown catch for Gideon, and a great move.
Yes, he gave him a little bit, took it away, and into the end zone.
Let's see if Escambia goes for 2. I assume they will. Down by 2 at the moment. Smith threw it into some tight coverage there, and it's incomplete.
Yes, he had him early. He waited just a little bit too long.
6:55 left to go in the third quarter. The Gators are on the scoreboard. They trail it by 2. This is Game Time on Yearview.
Okay, listen up. I know you offer great auto rates, local agents, fast friendly claims, but do you want to be a legend? You got to get tough, kid. When I'm done with you, nothing's going to keep you down.
Great talk, Brett. Can we get back to your auto quote now?
All right, sure.
Great.
Get great auto rates and local agents at favrates.com from Farm Bureau Insurance.
How about some water?
No, thanks. I'm good.
I think that people want to be in West Feliciana because it's truly one of the unique parts of Louisiana. That if you live in West Feliciana, you can have it all. You can have a great lifestyle, a government that works for you and is open and transparent. You can have wonderful neighbors. You can have a great school. You can live in an environment that's free of fear from crime. We're less than 20 minutes from the Baton Rouge Airport, 30 minutes from the state capitol. What we have in West Feliciana is a place where you really can have it all.
Nice drive there by A.V. Smith. And the Escambia Gators finished off by the touchdown catch there from Detrius Gideon. as Escambia is on the board. A.V. Smith was 5 for 5 on that drive with 50 yards. Chris Hale caught the first 4 passes, and then Gideon gets the last one and gets it into the end zone. Ronnie Perez has it teed up. Delivers a strong kick back to the 5. Straight ahead on the return as Kaufman does not get nearly as far as he did last time when he brought it all the way into Escambia territory. This time he is stopped at the 33-yard line, and that's where the Raiders, who have not scored an offensive touchdown or haven't put any points on the board since the initial drive of the night. And there's the ITI Technical College scoring drive. 6 plays, 66 yards, and the 12-yard touchdown grab by Gideon. At the 34-yard line, Rummel has turned it over twice. And Sturgis not finding as much running room as he did earlier in the game, as this Escambia defense has really started to focus in on him. I'm sure, as Xavier Johnson was on the tackle there for the Gators, Escambia probably didn't recognize it until during the first drive, or maybe they saw it even in pregame warmups, that Coy Moore was not playing, and knew they could really start keying in on Jalen Sturgis.
Yes, because they seem that they're loading the box now. They're keying in on Sturgis. They're not going to let him beat them.
Well, that's why Chandler Fields needs to start making some plays for the Raiders. Gets a couple there. It brings up a 3rd down as Noah Lord makes the stop.
Yes, Noah Lord. But Rummel is going to have to find a passing game somewhere. They're going to have to find a way to stretch the field and spread this team out, because as long as they're crowding the box and they're trying to run, it's not going to work. They're going to have to find a way to get the ball to their receivers and spread the field.
Hydration timeout. There you get a good look at Chandler Fields, the future Raging Cajun, as he is committed to UL Lafayette. Jabbar Jalouk, the former Edna Carr head football coach, former LSU assistant, former Louisiana Tech assistant.
Former Southern University defensive back.
There you go. He's hit them all. He is here watching Chandler Fields compete. And Fields, who threw for 2,300 yards and 13 touchdowns last year, running the football more this season, has committed to Billy Napier and the Cajuns. So a nice pickup. Of course, Chandler Fields, that's a big shoes to fill, as Chase Forcade was here before him, and Chase now playing for Nicholls State. And Nicholls playing Tulane tonight at Ullman Stadium.
Yes, Nicholls out the big win over Kansas.
Yep. 3rd down and 6. Big play here. Press coverage by Escambia. Fields got time to throw. Still looking. And it is deflected. And if it wasn't deflected, it would have been a touchdown for Rochelle. But getting his hand up there was Damian Howley. And Rummel will have to punt it away.
What's the old saying, ball don't lie? That was a bad pass that the defensive back missed the interception, and then the receiver missed the touchdown.
Yeah. Could have been picked there by Howley.
Yes, that would have been a big play either way.
And Fields, after going 2 for 3 for 26 yards on that first drive that resulted in a touchdown, is just 3 of 7 for 16 yards since then. Out the punt for Rummel. It's Renton. This is his 3rd punt, and he gets a high punt off here. And fair catch called at the 30, and it's a 33-yard punt. Gators take over with a chance now to take the lead with 5:35 left to go in the 3rd quarter. And A.V. Smith, after that really good drive where he was 5 for 5 for 50 yards.
Now we have to see if Rummel can make the adjustments to what Escambia has done. Escambia has decided to get the ball on the edges to their speed guys and to their playmakers, and Rummel was still playing 8 men in the box. Now we'll see if Rummel makes the adjustment and if Escambia can counter.
Peasant is not out there. That's interesting. So the running back is Kyrie Hall. And he gives it to Hall, and he is shut down. Another hit for Jordan Williams in the backfield. This Jordan Williams kid has been impressive tonight. He is.
Yes, watch this penetration, nothing going. They wanted him to follow that tackle in his own blocking scheme. He just got in there and set up in the backfield and waited on the running back.
Yeah, he has bought real estate in the Escambia backfield. Loss of 4. Peasant back out there now. And Smith, ball deflected at the line, and it's incomplete. Ball hit off someone's helmet or shoulder pad, it looked like. And Aaron Thomas nearly had an interception. So 3rd and 14 for the Gators.
See what we can see.
Did Jordan Williams get his hand up there? No, that's just a helm off the.
Hit his offensive lineman in the back of the head.
That can't feel too good if you're an offensive lineman. That's not what you're anticipating anyways.
No, not at all. They're going to have a discussion on the way home.
Be a long bus ride home.
Yes.
4 hours back to Pensacola. 3rd down and 14. Need to get to the 40. Rummel brings 4. Smith runs up, and he goes down. Gets a yard, but that's about it. Raiders defense. Nice showing there.
Yes. Good
Kabaz Craig on the tackle.
Great stop right there. And they bring pressure off the edge, force A.B. Smith up in the pocket, runs right into the sack.
3 and out. Tim Dortch back out to punt for Escambia. Now, last time they were punting from this position, a ball went over his head. Good punt that time. They try to block it, and it's not a good punt. And it goes out of bounds at the 40-yard line. And Dortch is down on the ground, and there's a flag. Now, is this the 15-yard penalty or the 5-yard penalty? It's a 14-yard punt. Oh, it's the 15-yard variety.
Oh, that's a killer right there.
Oh, man. Mike Bennett gets a...
The penalty was longer than the punt.
Gets a break there.
Yes.
Tells his offense, get back out there. And, Jay Roth, that one, he's not happy there at all. That's a tough one.
Yeah, that's a real tough penalty right there. That get 3 and out. You play good, hard-nosed, tough defense, and able to get them in position where you have the advantage, and then you give up a play like that.
2 big penalties by the special teams, negating that long return by Donovan Kaufman to begin the second half, and now the roughing the punter here as they were coming after it.
Definitely. I don't think that was a roughing. I thought that was a running too. I don't think that was a roughing.
Because I don't think Jay, looking at Jay, he didn't look too upset at his players, more at the officials.
Yes.
Gideon's got the first down to the 49-yard line. Nice ability there, the run after the catch for Detrius Gideon.
After that play, I looked at Coach Roth and I look at Coach Bennett. You can tell those guys are winning coaches.
Yeah.
You know how you can tell? Look at that salad on Coach Roth's head. Look at that hair, man. They both still have a head full of hair. That's how you know that they're winning coaches, because plays like that will make you pull your hair out. Yeah.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. As Escambia. Seems like in this game, because there's been plenty of mistakes from both teams, I mean, whoever capitalizes on more of these mistakes will win the game. Nothing happening there.
Excellent play.
Jaden Blackman catches it, and it was shut down by Quentin Cage. It's very quick.
By Quentin Cage. Excellent play. Way to come up and make the tackle in open field. You know, he got off the block, got upfield, made the tackle. That is the way his textbook. That's the way Coach draws it up.
2nd down and 12. 4 wideouts. Smith throws it again, and look out. I don't blame Jaden Blackman for dropping that one. Cage was coming after him.
Yeah, see, quarterback, I think if he makes the catch initially, he has a room to maybe get around, but I think he was looking up the field and he was like, oh no, I'm going to let that one go. He made a business decision right there.
Definitely, probably. There he sees it out of the corner of his eyes and the alligator arms come out.
Exactly. He made a business decision.
3rd down and 12. Let's see if they bring some pressure or they play zone. Smith directing traffic. Flag is down. Smith will try to take off, and he is dragged down to the ground. As Quentin Cage in on another tackle. We may have a holding penalty on Escambia.
That's an interesting call.
I'm sure Rummel will decline the penalty. I think they should.
Yes.
Unless they want to get better field position. Jay is asking, where is the penalty at? So how far is it going to back him up? He's talking with his defensive coordinator, Nick Monica. Because you can get about an extra 10 or 15 yards here if you're able to stop him.
Holding. Offense, number 75. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay 3rd down.
So interesting. Interesting here that they will push him back. Now they're going back. They're spotting this ball at the 32-yard line.
They called it from the spot of the hole.
Yeah, that's something different than what you might see in the NFL, where it's just a 10-yard penalty regardless. But in high school football, it is a spot of the foul penalty.
It's number 75 right here.
That's Eric Harris. He's the Alabama State commitment, and that was a great edge rush by Jordan Williams.
Yes, and you know, it's ironic. They didn't throw the flag on at that moment. The flag didn't come in until later on.
So it's 3rd down and 30. They need to get to the 38-yard line of Rummel, and they're back at their own 32. Now there's a flag in the defensive backfield, maybe a delay of game penalty, and it is.
Offense, number 5. 5 yards. 3rd down.
So the student section for Rummel likes that, as they were making some noise there.
Now Escambia is starting, they're moving back farther and farther back. There's no play call for this. There's no play call for 3rd and forever.
Smith has to spin out of the pocket. It's caught and then quickly brought down. Nice coverage by Rummel's Colby Fields. Gideon in on another catch. I believe that was Gideon. 12-yard pickup. So, yeah, they pick up about 13 or 14 yards there, Reggie, by accepting that penalty.
Yes, they do. And now you put the pressure back on Escambia's punter, who hasn't exactly had a good night other than the roughing call, the questionable roughing call. But now you put the pressure back on them, and you have a chance of getting an excellent field position and an excellent return man. So if he gets the opportunity, he can take this thing to the house.
The punt is kicked away from Donovan Kaufman, and then it's going to roll dead at the 21-yard line, and that's where the Raiders will start this drive with just a minute 36 left to go in the 3rd quarter.
Tim George punts. It's out of bounds.
Don't miss any of the action. Go to yourview.com/football and sign up for the Game Time newsletter to get the previous week's highlights, stories, and recruiting news, along with a preview of the upcoming week's matchups, delivered straight to your inbox. And next week, we'll be in Livingston Parish for Live Oak and West Feliciana. The Saints, the defending champs in 3A, taking on Brett Beard's Live Oak Eagles, who are 2-0 after coming from behind to beat Mandeville last night. Here's a good run. New running back in the game, Kyle Walker, as they change things up a little bit, Reggie. And Instead of Jalen Sturgis, who's more of a pounding running back, they go to more of a speed guy in Kyle Walker, and he gets 19.
You know, Kyle Walker, every time he touches the ball, he's had an impact. Early in the first half, he had a big run. Now he comes back with another big run. He's making plays on special teams. He's having a pretty good night.
5 carries for 48 yards last week for Kyle Walker, who moved from linebacker in the offseason. And now Fields keeps it, and there's a lot of room for him to run. Fields into Escambia territory and runs out of bounds, which is exactly what Jay Roth wants to see from his senior quarterback, a 20-yard run for Fields.
Yes. Now Rummel has their offense clicking. We've seen this game. This has been a seesaw game in terms of offense. We'll see if Rummel can keep this going up, because Escambia was clicking at one point. They get down to deep in Rummel's territory and stop. Now we'll see if Rummel can keep their momentum going.
From the Escambia 40-yard line, Walker gets it again, but he stumbles and falls. Great job by the front there for Escambia. Gave him no chance to run anywhere. Ilyas Akbar.
And then he was tripped up by that
monster.
That All-American turf monster.
2nd down and 13. Just when you hit a couple of big plays and then you want to stay ahead of the chains, get a 3-yard loss. 2nd and 13 now for the Raiders. Walker gets another opportunity, and boy, did he get hammered at the 40-yard line. Wow, big-time collision there as Damian Howley came up from his safety position to whack him.
That's the way you run the alley right there. Number 23, that's what we call a safety.
Let's listen to the collision here. And that will be our final play of the 3rd quarter. It's a 2-point game with 12 more minutes to go. Rummel and Escambia. These two teams are trying to stay undefeated on the young season. More coming up here from your view. You are watching Game Time on a Saturday night from Joe Yenny Stadium.
When I tore my ACL, I didn't think I'd ever be able to play soccer again. My doctor told me how important physical therapy would be, so I chose Peak. I'm glad I did. Now I'm stronger, faster, better than ever. Choose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
When I get back to Baton Rouge, I get in my Bluesmobile and I drive right on down to Partner's Barbecue. And you know what I do? I get me some ribs, all tender too. Some baked beans, some potato salad, some smoked sausage. You got to come on down to Partner's Barbecue, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, Joe Martin here. You've seen our commercials over the years, and you may be wondering, what's in it for me? Well, ITI Technical College has been selected by Forbes magazine as a top 32-year college. But even more than that, the reason we do this is you. Our tagline is for a better life, and we mean that, for you to be able to have the life you've always dreamed about, to do the things for your family you've always dreamed about. And it can begin here, where we are dedicated to your success, because here at ITI, the reason we do it is you.
Exercising is my life, so when I had to stop because of my foot and ankle pain, I was absolutely devastated. I chose Peak, and they taught me how to relieve the pain. They really do bring out the athlete in everyone. Choose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
We begin the 4th quarter from Joe Yenny Stadium. You could join us on a Saturday night here on Your View. Jeff Palermo, Reggie Flood, and Smacker Miles down on the field. Raiders up by 2. 3rd down and 10. Rummel is 3 for 6 on 3rd downs. Fields winds up, throws, and just too far for Jacob Renton. It was there as he had a step on Jesse Salisbury. Now let's see what Coach Jay Roth decides to do as he played a field position game, and I think he will bring his punt team out there.
Yeah, Chandler Fields had his receiver there. The receiver was going to one spot and Chandler threw it to another spot. So, you know, just a little miscommunication there. Not a very good throw, but he definitely had his receiver open.
Oh, Escambia's got to burn a timeout. Very interesting thing there by Jay Roth. He brought in new wide receivers. Escambia thought they were bringing on the punt team and then recognized, wait a minute, they're lined up to go for it on 4th down, and the Gators had to use a timeout. So the Gators give up one of their 3 timeouts. So we've already told you that Escambia, they're famous for producing Emmitt Smith. They also produced another great running back that went on to be an All-American at Alabama. And that's Trent Richardson, who was a first-round pick for the Cleveland Browns. But there you see him in number 1. Not sure if that's the reason why Frank Peasant wears number 1. But Trent Richardson, he was a good one for Alabama, that's for sure.
Definitely.
The early part of when Nick Saban really started to get it rolling there, 2007 to 2009, Richardson was the guy. So Rummel will go for it on 4th down. It's 4th and 10. Fields with a check with me to the sidelines. Wonder if they're trying to draw him off sides, or we might see a punt here. Yep, we're going to see a punt from Fields. End over end. Let's see where this thing ends up. And it's going to pin. Not sure there what Kaufman was trying to do, but trying to push it back even further. But it's a 32-yard punt, and it has Escambia starting from their own 8-yard line. Jay Roth, great career, as we've told you. They won the back-to-back state titles, did the Raiders, 2012, 2013. They won the last 5A state championship when it was still the select and non-select schools were still competing against each other. That was in 2012 when they beat Barb. And in 2013, they defeated Byrd 23-22 in a classic Division I state championship. So they won the first ever Division I championship in LHSAA history. Smith will throw, but he never really had the handle on that thing, and it short hops the receiver, Jaden Blackman.
Yeah, he has to get that ball out there. That's one of those drills you work on, as you know, getting that ball and throwing it without putting your hands on the laces. And as he gets older, his hands will get stronger. He'll be able to get that throw out.
He had a really tough start to his career today, A.V. Smith. He threw 3 interceptions in his first game. Coach Mike Bennett said, you got to quit thinking that your arm is Brett Favre's strength. That pass, a nice grab there by Blackman, who moves forward after a tough catch, and he gets the first down to the 20-yard line. This is the point of the game where you start seeing a lot more guys going both ways. Close contest in the 4th quarter. Of course, Jaden spends a lot of time on defense, starting cornerback. So a little more breathing room now for the Gators. A.V. Smith, nice touch on that ball, and it's just deflected.
He waited just a little too long to throw that ball. He allowed the safety to get over and make the play on that ball. He waited just a count too long to let that one go.
Ron Franklin, the senior, covering the seam.
He had his man right off the line of scrimmage. He just waited just a tick too long.
Nearly intercepted there by Franklin. Brings up 2nd down at 10, 11-11. For those who were watching the LSU game, glad you could join us here on Yearview as the Tigers defeated Southeastern Louisiana 31-0. Peasant picks up about 6 yards. Rummel scored on its first offensive drive of the night, and they haven't really even sniffed a score since then. They got a safety on a bad snap on a punt, and then Escambia finally got on the board in the 3rd quarter, and really the momentum has probably been more in the Gators' favor, but Escambia, they've had 4 trips into the red zone, and they've only scored once.
Yes, and this is a big 3rd down play right here.
3rd down and 5. 4 wide receivers. Smith gets rid of it in a hurry. And again, moving upfield is Blackman, picking up another first down. And then a flag comes in late. That might be a late hit against Rummel.
Late hit, man. These mental errors are really killing Rummel right now. That's an extra 15 yards added onto that play.
So now the officials will discuss exactly where the penalty was and how far. Well, it's a 15-yard penalty, but where the penalty happened is key here.
Dead ball foul. Defense. Yards.
Been a lot of big 15-yard penalties in this game, Reggie.
Yes, a lot of them.
So
goes out.
He's out of bounds here. And that right there, that's it. That's all it took. Jordan Williams has played a great game, but that was not a good decision by him.
Not at all.
The 8th penalty of the night. And now they get the football to Jaden Blackman again. And look at this. Blackman's in the clear. One man to beat. To the end zone. Touchdown. Touchdown Gators. 52 yards, and they have their first lead of the night.
Great move. He got the ball one-on-one. And, I mean, that's just getting your ball to your playmakers right there. It's a simple play. They've been running it all night, but he makes one move, and he's up the field and is able to outrun all of the rest of the Rummel Raiders.
So Jalen Blackman had the nice catches on the other side of the field, and then they get it to the sophomore wideout here. And Jaden Blackman, this is all him after he catches it.
Yes, being a little bit over-aggressive on the Rummel part. Overrun the play, and then you get burned for a touchdown.
They'll go for 2. They'll try to put themselves up by 6. Smith keeps it straight ahead, and he's got the 2 points. Nice play call there.
Great job.
And Escambia scored 2 touchdowns here in the second half, and they lead the Rummel Raiders 14-8. And Jay Ruff, a look of concern on his face. His offense is stalled here tonight, and his defense is starting to give up the big plays. As A.V. Smith has had a really nice second half for Coach Mike Bennett.
Yes, he has. He's been putting the ball where it needs to be, keeping it simple, getting it to the playmakers and letting them make plays. This is going to be an interesting fourth quarter here.
So the Blackman brothers leading Escambia down the field. As I mentioned, it was Jalen making some nice catches earlier in this drive, and then Jaden Blackman gets into the end zone. Well, sense of urgency here. This is not why you, as a coach, though, you love the fact that you got a senior quarterback in Chandler Fields. But he's missing his top wide receiver, Coy Moore, which has really limited the Raiders. I mean, this is a Rummel team that just doesn't have a lot of playmakers. And when you lose Coy Moore and you don't have Logan Diggs, 2 of your best playmakers at the skill position, that really hampers you. Nice return here, and he's had a couple of them tonight. Donovan Kaufman to the 33-yard line. A.V. Smith has thrown for 133 yards and 2 touchdowns in this second half. 11 of 15. Now it's time for Chandler Fields to get hot for Rummel.
Yeah, Rummel needs to find some offense here.
There's our Monogram Express scoring drive. Finished off by the touchdown run from Jaden Blackman. 6 plays, 92 yards. That's right, after the punt that pinned Escambia back at their own 8-yard line. Fields and Sturgis in the backfield. Fields will throw. Going deep. His man's got a step. And all of a sudden the big plays are happening in this one. Zach Marambell with the catch. And the Rummel faithful like that.
Somebody took the can off the lid of big plays now. Now they're throwing this thing around.
They showed blitz. They backed off on it. And Marambell, the junior wideout, who did not have a catch coming into this game, that's his second grab of the night. Nice throw by Fields.
And you know what he did, or what the receiver did that was most impressive on that play? He gave his quarterback room to throw the ball. He didn't go up against the sideline, and the quarterback didn't have to make a perfect throw. He gave him room to put the ball in there.
from the 12-yard line. Sturgis ran into his old man, and then Escambia shuts him down after that. Tyshan Edwards on the tackle as Rummel is inside the Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance Company's red zone. Little hurry-up offense here as Rummel feels like they got Escambia reeling a little bit. No one in the backfield for Fields. Fields under pressure. Already has one touchdown run. He won't have a second one, at least on that play. And all of a sudden, it's 3rd and long, Reggie, after the big pass play.
Yes, and that was a play. I think they were just trying to get Chandler Fields in a position to make a one-on-one play. It didn't work. Escambia was disciplined and stayed in their lanes, and they were able to get him down. Now it's a big 3rd down. Probably
4-down territory, I would think, for Rummel.
Definitely.
They're 1 for 5 on their last 3rd down attempts as we're coming up on the 9-minute mark.
Especially with their kicker out. I would think it would be 4-down territory.
Whistles. And there is a flag, and it's going to be a legal procedure on Rummel.
16. Dead ball. False start. Offense. Number 7. 3rd.
And again, a bad penalty for the Raiders at a bad moment. Already facing a difficult 3rd down and 12. Now it's 3rd down and 17 with the football at the 20. Amor Rochelle, the guilty party there. Fields, they screen. Sturgis can't handle it. Now it's 4th down and 17, but again, their field goal kicker, Patrick Vanderbrook, is out. They've already missed an extra point. I think you have to go for it.
Exactly. And look who's on defense now. Frank Peasant is now playing defense.
Yep.
So we heard Coach Bennett said that when they needed him in crunch time that they were playing on defense, so now he's playing.
He was a good linebacker for him last year, and now he's, at least in this 4th quarter, going both ways. Leading rusher for the Gators. 4th down. Fields trying to make something happen here. To the end zone. Ball batted, incomplete. What a great defensive play by P.J. Sanders, their best defensive back. Comes up huge, and the Gators still have a 6-point lead.
Yes, defensive hole right there. P.J. Sanders able to get his hands on the ball and knock it away.
Just needed a little bit more on that for Fields.
Yeah,
if he could get him more to the pylon, right?
Exactly. Receivers actually able to get some separation, but P.J. Sanders got his hands on the ball.
So now the Gators with the football and with the lead for the first time tonight. As a red-hot quarterback surveys the defense, and he quickly gets rid of it. Chris Hale, look at that stop and go. Gets 6 yards out of it. These wide receivers, Chris Hale, Jaden and Jalen Blackman, they have done a nice job in eluding that first defender and going upfield.
Yes, they're very athletic, very quick. Watch this first step. Oh,
hello.
Nice dance move.
Tackle on that last play by Kyler Rodriguez. Manageable 2nd and 4. The pitch to Peasant. Nice job pursuing it, though, Donovan Kaufman. And a critical 3rd down coming up now. Peasant came in with 400 yards rushing. Hasn't had a huge night tonight. And there is a an Escambia player down on the ground. Earlier today, Brother Martin lost to Warren Easton. Warren Easton's pretty good.
Yes.
Going back to last night, how about Carr blasting Landry Walker 40-0? Catholic and Zachary were involved in a classic game last night where the Bears beat the Broncos with a 2-point conversion at the end of the ball game to beat David Brewerton and the defending 5A champs as the Division I champs. Knocking off the Zachary Broncos. John Curtis won on Thursday against Bishop Lynch out of Dallas. Epic game also last night between St. James and Lutcher. Let's take a look at what happened here.
On the previous play, okay. Got rolled up a little bit.
Yeah. So then Franklin, or excuse me, not Franklin, but Chris Hale then tried to run the next play and kind of realized that, wait a minute, something's not right here. So a weapon there for the Escambia Gators has to at least sit out a play, and we'll see if he's able to get back in. The Gators have 137 yards passing here in this second half. They've rushed for -3. 3rd and 6. Smith under duress and just had to throw it away.
Smart
there
play
is a flag, though. Is that a flag? I believe that's a flag on the field. I think it's going to be an illegal man downfield. So Rummel will certainly decline it this time. And they'll get the ball back, and maybe they'll have some good field position here.
Well, you know, this punting has been kind of questionable.
Yeah. We've seen some good punts. We've seen some ugly ones. We've seen some bad snaps. It's been a little bit of everything, kind of what you expect early on in the season when it comes to your special teams units. So finally, the determination has been made to decline.
Going to play, and that was a receiver downfield on the offense, number 73. That penalty decline, it'll be 4.
Tim Dortch will come back out there for Escambia to punt it away. Donovan Kaufman ready to return. This is where you miss a guy like Coy Moore, who had a 47-yard punt return for a touchdown last week against Gulfport. Not having that. And we've seen Kaufman, he's had some nice returns here tonight, but
I can guarantee you if Kaufman gets any opportunity to return this, he's going to return it.
Dortch, line drive punt, fair catch and a nice diving grab. That's huge. There's some hidden yards right there, because if he doesn't catch it, that ball bounces at least 15 or 20 yards. Instead, it's just a 31-yard punt and good field position for the Raiders with 7:40 left to go.
Exactly. That was a good, smart decision to call a fair catch and actually make the catch. Like you said, he saved yards on that.
And so many times now, Reggie, that we see these guys, returners, just not even touch the ball, and there goes 10, 15 yards added on to the punt if you just would have fielded it. Easier said than done. I'm not saying being a punt returner is easy, but
it's definitely not. I speak from experience. My very first play ever in high school football was returning a punt.
Oh boy, how did it end up?
Not well. Not well at all. Jeez.
First, it sounds like it keeps you up at night.
Oh, it does. And it was on TV. Cox, as a matter of fact.
At the 46, Sturgis, nothing going as he is hit in the backfield. Tamari Taylor, a sophomore, who had 8 tackles coming into the game. He's made his presence known here tonight. Only a yard there for Sturgis, who really hasn't been able to get much going. He had 63 yards rushing in the first half, just 11 in the second half. 2nd down and 9. Fields will roll out. Fields will zip it, nearly intercepted. Should have been intercepted. That was right in the hands of Howley. That's the second one we've seen him drop.
Now we know why he plays defensive back and not receiver. That should have been an easy interception for him. He took the right angle. Look, he's playing safety. He follows the quarterback, watches his eyes, breaks on the ball, just doesn't finish the play.
3rd down and 9. Fields needs to make a play. Escambia rushes 4 as they're playing zone. Fields under all kinds of pressure. Kind of looking like Archie Manning back there. throws it away, and almost another interception.
It wasn't old familiar looking at old number 18.
And running for his life.
Exactly. Exactly. Looked like old Archie from Ole Miss.
Well, 3 and out. They can't do anything good with the good field position that they had there. So out comes Jacob Renton. Fields now in the second half, just 2 of 9 for 69 yards.
Escambia has done a great job of containing him and getting pressure on him when he's attempting to pass.
Good punt here. And it's going to be picked up, though. And returned by P.J. Sanders. Sanders all the way up to the 42-yard line. Caught Rummel off guard. There is a flag, though, on the far side of the field, very close to where the tackle occurred.
I wonder, he threw it right over here. I wonder if they're calling a block in the back.
And it's going to be against Rummel. How about that?
Wow, wow.
35-yard punt, 38-yard return for Sanders.
At 5, yeah. Doing a return. A block. Number 55. That'll be 15 yards. Sideline warning.
Jay Ruff looking for more explanation on that call. And now Escambia has outstanding field position all the way up to the 27-yard line of Rummel.
I didn't quite get the call there.
No, the mic was breaking out.
Yeah.
Maybe hitting, Rummel hit a blocker below the waist or something like that, but it was 15 yards.
A head-to-head contact infraction moves the ball.
10 penalties now on Rummel for 97 yards. Plus, they've turned it over twice on bad snaps between the center and quarterback.
Coach Roth cannot be happy about that.
At the 27-yard line, Smith keeps it and then falls at the 22. Let's go down to the field and Smacker Miles.
Hey guys, I have a peak performance injury update. It was number 3, Chris Hale. He left to the sideline with a left ankle injury, but he went over to the trainer and they just immediately started taping it up. A lot of different layers and different tapes, but he was actually helping fire up his teammates even while his ankle was being taped. And as soon as the ankle was taped, he started put the sock back on. Now he's warming up again on the sideline, so we expect to see him back very shortly. And he's still over there pumping up the team. So it's good vibes on that sideline over there at Escambia.
Certainly it is. They've scored 2 touchdowns here in the second half, and they lead the Rummel Raiders 14-8. We take a water break timeout. 5:56 left to go. Mike Bennett hoping to go 3-0 on the season. This is Game Time on Your View.
Tonight's Game Time play of the game is brought to you by Podna's Barbecue. Slow cooked, fall off the bone perfection, and the best baked beans in America.
Come enjoy a great location just minutes away from the hustle and bustle of the city at Suma Lake Apartments. Experience luxurious living with all appliances included, granite countertops, and walk-in closets. Relax in a peaceful environment by the pool or enjoy fishing in a 9-acre lake. Kids are sure to enjoy the playground and basketball court. Located in Livingston Parish in a great school district. Call today, 225-686-1111.
Tonight's Game Time League standings are brought to you by the best place for you to live and work in South Louisiana is West Feliciana Parish. Check out WFParish.org. West Feliciana Parish, where you really can have it all.
The Escambia Gators from Pensacola on the move here as they lead it by 6 over Archbishop Rummel. Jeff Palermo and Reggie Flood from high atop Joe Yenny Stadium. Second down and 6 at the 23-yard line for the Gators, and there were 2 men moving for Escambia. This will back them up 5 yards on the illegal procedure penalty.
Dead ball, false start. Offense, number 7. 5 yards, still second down.
This is when,
go ahead, Reggie.
This is when both teams have to bear down and focus. It's the last 5 minutes. They've been playing in the heat. They're hot. The game is close, so both teams are kind of getting a little undisciplined. They're going to have to bear down and focus for this last 5 minutes or so.
That's now 8 penalties on Escambia. 10 penalties for 97 yards for Rummel. They've also turned it over twice, and they are 0 for 3 on 4th down. Second and 11. A.V. Smith zips one over the middle, and there's more Raider defenders there than wide receivers. Almost a chance at an interception there for Rummel's Ron Franklin.
AV, like Coach Bennett says, sometimes he believes a little bit too much in his arm. He's holding that ball a little bit too long. With that guy, his receiver has to settle in that zone. Rummel is playing the zone right now with the safety over the top. He has to settle in the zone instead of running through the zone, and that's what allows the safety to get to him and maybe almost get an interception. Smith has thrown for 190 yards and 2 touchdowns. The 2 touchdowns coming in this second half. Third down and 11. Rummel fans making some noise here as Peasant motions out of the backfield. Smith now going down towards the end zone, a leaping grab, and it was nearly caught and nearly intercepted. Great play, really, from both sides, but defended very well by Gavin Holmes, who had an interception return for a touchdown last week. Yeah, and I think Escambia may go for it right here because they're kind of in no man's land. Great effort on both sides.
Holmes only 5'9", but he made a great play there, defending Jaden Blackman. It's 4th and 11 here for Escambia. Rummel's defense needs a stop. A first down here for Escambia, and that's a backbreaker for Rummel. They bring the pressure. Smith's pass is caught, and it's enough for a first down to the 15-yard line.
I think it's
big time play there. Wow. 13 yards on the play as it was caught by Gideon.
Great play. Great play. A.V. Smith staying focused, able to get the ball out to his receiver. That's a heartbreaker right there.
And this Rummel defense has to be getting tired. They've been on the field a lot in the second half. So they give it to their big back in Peasant. And he gets thrown down to the ground at the 13-yard line. Making the tackle there is Rummel, starting to get some subs out there, just some extra bodies. Colby Fields in on another tackle. Second down and 9. 4.5 and counting in this one.
At this point, if I'm Escambia, I may not be trying to stretch the field as much, especially with a guy like Frank Peasant. I may be just trying to line up with that big offensive line and run right at Rummel because Rummel's been on the field for so long.
And their field goal kicker has made a 37-yarder this season, so they're getting into field goal range here too as they look to try to take as much time off that clock. There's just 17 seconds on the play clock as we're under 4 minutes to go on the game clock. Smith getting instructions from the sidelines.
They're going to take that play clock down as far as they can.
With 6 on the play clock, they snap it. Smith keeps it. Smith finds a seam all the way down to the 2-yard line.
A.V. Smith taking control of the game. He's sensing it. He's sensing the victory. He's taking control of the game.
First and goal at the 2. Good run here.
Yes, excellent run.
Starting to see the missed tackles. 11-yard run.
He has to put that ball away, though. At this point in the game, Rummel's going to be trying to tackle the football. He has to put that ball away, but that was an excellent run and a great decision by him to keep the ball.
1st and goal from the 2. Either 5 or number 1 is going to get the ball. A.B. Smith calls his own number, and he's in.
A.B. Smith taking control. He's the MVP of the second half.
Big touchdown there for Escambia. It's a 2-possession game as the Raiders, who led it 8-0 into the 3rd quarter, has seen Escambia score 20 unanswered points.
And he did a good job of riding the running back all the way out and making the defensive man commit to the running back and then keeping the ball on the RPO.
And down on the ground is Jordan Williams, who's played a heck of a game for the Raiders. As this night couldn't get any worse here for the Raiders. As they look at the left foot of the junior defensive lineman. And some of the fans here for Rummel are heading to the exits. Frustrating night for them offensively without 2 of their better wide receivers, and good sign here, Williams able to at least hobble off on his own power.
Yeah, Rummel's had some opportunities, but without their 2 big playmakers, they had a hard time moving the football, especially in the second half. They had no deep threat. It kind of fell in the lap of the quarterback, and he made some plays, but so far he hadn't been able to make enough. Chandler Fields, he's played well, but not enough plays. And you give a team like Escambia so many chances, they're eventually going to take advantage of it.
The extra point try is straight through as Perez is now 9 of 10 on extra points, but you got to give the Gators defense some credit too. Rummel, when they're up 8-0, they wanted to really pound the football with Jalen Sturgis, and they have not allowed him to really get going. Sturgis had a big game last week against Gulfport with the 3 touchdowns and 146 yards rushing, but that has not happened here tonight.
Definitely. It's been one of those games where Rummel had some momentum early in the game, and they didn't take advantage of all of those opportunities, and it's come back to bite them. And when Escambia got those, Escambia moved the ball the whole first half, and then in the second half, when they got the opportunities, they've really taken it to Rummel, and they've taken advantage of their opportunities.
Game time on Yearview, Louisiana. Thanks, Louisiana Lift, for their support of this telecast, specializing in customer service on equipment, rentals, parts, and training. Louisiana Lift has been serving its customers since 1980. You can check them out online at lalift.com or call the New Orleans area office, 504-463-3400. Louisiana Lift, they're always on call. So Rummel will need a big play here or a big return. They need something. Ronnie Perez has it teed up as Escambia starting to look forward to what will be a very happy bus ride home back to Pensacola if they're able to hold on to this lead. From the 16th, Kaufman staying on his feet, will not go down easily all the way up to the 42-yard line. Jamal Potter in on that stop for Escambia. Chandler Fields now really needs to make a few big plays through the air.
Yes, they need a quick score here. It's a 2-possession game. They definitely need a quick score. They're going to have to throw the ball, which to me lends to the strength of Escambia on the defensive side of the ball with their defensive backs being so athletic.
Just 105 yards of total offense for Rummel in the second half, and just over 3 minutes left to go in the game. The football at the 41-yard line for the Raiders. Fields parking out the signals. 4 down linemen for Escambia. Fields got time. No one open though. Pass deflected at the line of scrimmage. Tyree Taylor got a hand up there, I believe, and knocked it down.
Great job by Escambia staying in their rush lanes, getting up the field, and then when they couldn't get to the quarterback, the defensive end gets his hands up and knocks the ball down.
Second down and 10.
Second down and 10 for the Raiders.
Fields has only completed one pass in his last 7 attempts. Fields looking, throws, tight coverage, and it's intercepted. There is a flag down. We'll have to wait and see who the flag will be against. But intercepted for the moment by Escambia's Metairie Dunn.
Yes, they're going to call interference on that play because he didn't turn around and look for the ball. If he turns around and looks for the ball, that's an interception. Ball's going the other way.
And then the good thing about that,
Rummel's offense staying on the field. They feel pretty confident about this call. But they're not going to be where the it's not the NFL.
Yeah, it's not the spot of the ball foul. They'll have to back up a little bit.
Just a 15-yard penalty like it is in college.
Should have got more
Pass interference. Defense on number 11. Automatic first.
Well, watch it again here. You're catching the end of it. Now we got to see that a little bit more here.
But I mean, there's a lot of college so people that
I don't know. Tough to tell from
tough to tell. It looked like there was some hand fighting between them, and then he turned around and got the ball. But the official saw the interference. He's much closer than we are, so.
So now the ball is at the 44-yard line of Escambia. Zach Marinbell was fighting for that football for Rummel. Fields going deep. Tight coverage again, and now they're flag throw.
That's offensive interference.
They were trying to hit Kyle Walker, who was streaking down the near sideline. So let's see what this call will be.
Well, they tried to get him on a wheel route. I think this one's going to go against Rummel, though.
And Rummel starting to retreat.
Offense, number 49. 10 yards, also consists of a loss of down. It'll be third down.
So loss of down on the offensive pass interference.
Give it, then take it. You can see going deep right here, and you just see he climbs a man's back while the ball is in the air. That's obvious pass interference. And see, you notice, number one turned and found, Frank Peasant turned around and found the ball. He looked back for the ball.
I don't think that's a loss of down, though.
I didn't think so either. But
he also said it was a 10-yard penalty, and they marked it off 15 yards. So it's first down and 25.
Early in the season for officials,
too. Set up the screen, but wow, snuffed out perfectly by Escambia. This defense has been impressive as Tyshan Edwards was there for the tackle. We told you earlier in this broadcast that Mike Bennett, the head coach for the Gators, won a state title in 2009. And that year, his defense was something else. They hardly gave up any points during that entire year, especially down the playoffs. And he knows something about defense, and his defensive coordinator, Gary Coward, has been with them for 19 years. So,
if I remember Coach Wright, hearing him right, they only gave up 78 points in that season or something like that. 13 of those in the playoffs.
Tabery Taylor the sack, and now it is a third down in a parking lot. They got a long way to go. They got to get all the way to the 34 of Escambia, and they're back at their own 33.
Yeah, and time is running short on Rummel. It's only a minute and 30-some-odd seconds left in the game. Time, they really need a quick, not only a big play, but a quick play.
4 wide receivers here, as Rummel's offense has not scored since the opening drive of the night. And another sack going down again. as nobody is open downfield. A coverage sack there. Ilis Akbar. And it's 4th down and one more opportunity here for Rummel. And with over 60 seconds to go, they're just going to punt the football away, it looks like.
Yeah, Chandler Fields, I mean, might as well bring him out, let him live to fight another day. You have a district season coming up. You have the regular season coming up. He's been taking a beating. Let him come out of the game and, you know, get some rest and try to get ready for next week.
What a great performance by Escambia, taking the bus ride over here today. And one of the things that Coach Mike Bennett said his team was looking forward to, not only just the bus ride and the trip, but with some Raising Cane's after the game. As kids loved that the last time they came to New Orleans and played.
I talked to him. I talked to him earlier, and they said they stopped at Raising Cane's on the way, so I'm sure they'll stop as they head out.
Let's take a look at our play of the game. And this run after the catch by Jalen Blackman. Dukes one receiver, then turns on the Jets. Our Panda's barbecue play of the game gets into the end zone. And that gave Escambia the lead, and they ended up adding another touchdown on the board before it was all said and done. The Gators now will line up in victory formation, and they will improve to 3-0.
Yes, the best play call in football, the two-finger victory formation.
And Rummel, after a nice win last week against Gulfport, well, there was a flag there, which really doesn't need to happen with 26 seconds left. But Rummel will have to go back to the drawing board here a little bit. Their defense played well tonight, Reggie.
Yes.
Just not enough. Again, you're missing a couple of big playmakers, but their offensive line didn't really give Jalen Sturgis much running room, and Chandler Fields just couldn't make enough plays here tonight.
Yeah, I think it was too much on Chandler Field, but I think the most important thing for Rummel is they have to get healthy.
Yeah.
You know, your two best receivers are out and your kicker is out. They have to get healthy first of all.
And some bad penalties tonight too on Rummel. Really hurt them. Some 15-yard penalties. And Jay Roth sees his team fall to 1-1, while the Escambia Gators improve to 3-0. And us high school football fans here in Louisiana wish them the best of luck on the rest of their season.
Yes.
And we'll be watching to see how far they're able to go in Class 6A in Florida. The final horn is sounded. The Escambia Gators 21, the Rummel Raiders 8. Smacker Miles will have a chance to talk with a very happy head football coach for the Gators and Mike Bennett.
I can't wait to hear Coach Bennett's post-game interview. This should be entertaining.
Last year they were 8-3. They lost in Region 1-6A of the semifinals, and Escambia looking for their third consecutive district championship. And with that defense, and if they can continue to develop some of those skill position players, and they got A.V. Smith, who really has to feel very confident after a great second half performance.
Yeah, I mean, A.V. Smith came out and he took control of the game for Escambia in the second half, and he was able to, he really truly became the leader of the team tonight because it was because of him he got the victory. He didn't play, he played within himself, got the ball to his playmakers, made good, accurate passes, and they were able to do the rest.
He was really good in the second half as he throws for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also 2 rushes for 15 yards and a touchdown for A.V. Smith. Let's send it down to the field and hear from Coach Mike Bennett as Smacker Miles is standing by.
Coach, your defense was very dominant in the second half. How were they able to execute so well?
Well, we just did what we coached. That's what I told them when we went in. You know, just do what you're coached. I mean, if you do what you're coached, then, you know, we're going to have a chance to win the ball game, and we did. I mean, you know, even offensively, we started, playing, getting some things together, short passing game, and getting the ball in our guys' hands that can really run.
You just mentioned it, but that passing game really came together in the second half. What happened there?
Man, I tell you, they sold out on the run. They really did. I mean, their game plan, we saw sold out on the run. We just had to, mix the run in a little bit, but we had to throw the football. I mean, that's the bottom line. I mean, they were giving us some things, and we took advantage of them. So our coaches did a good job of making that adjustment.
How is this ride back to Pensacola going to be?
Hey, if I can just get a shower and get this mugginess off me, it's going to be great.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Well,
welcome to our life, Coach.
Final score again, Escambia 21, Rummel 8. We'll wrap things up from Joe Yenny Stadium when we come back. You've been watching Game Time on Your View.
Tonight's Game Time Player of the Game is brought to you by Peak Performance. At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete and everyone. Stronger, faster, better, choose Peak. Check out the stories behind the games. Visit yourview.com/Louisiana.
Okay, listen up. I know you offer great auto rates, local agents, fast, friendly claims, but do you want to be a legend? You got to get tough, kid. When I'm done with you, nothing's going to keep you down.
Great talk, Brett. Can we get back to your auto quote now?
All right, sure.
Great.
Get great auto rates and local agents at favrates.com from Farm Bureau Insurance.
How about some water?
No, thanks. I'm good.
I think that people want to be in West Feliciana because it's truly one of the unique parts of Louisiana. That if you live in West Feliciana, you can have it all. You can have a great lifestyle, a government that works for you and is open and transparent. You can have wonderful neighbors. You can have a great school. You can live in an environment that's free of fear from crime. We're less than 20 minutes from the Baton Rouge Airport, 30 minutes from the state capitol. What we have in West Feliciana is a place where you really can have it all.
When I get back to Baton Rouge, I get in my blues mobile and I drive right on down to Partner's Barbecue. And you know what I do? I get me some ribs, all tender too. Some baked beans, some potato salad, some smoked sausage. You got to come on down to Partner's Barbecue, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
21-8, our final score as the Escambia Gators come from Pensacola to Joe Yenny Stadium and defeat the Rummel Raiders tonight. And an impressive performance for them as they were shut out in the first half was Escambia, but they scored 3 touchdowns and they win it 21-8. Let's take a look at our player of the game, and it is A.V. Smith. Why not? He was really good in the second half, throwing for over 200 yards for the game and a couple of touchdowns. Also had 10 carries for 60 yards, but he was making some plays throughout the second half and showed a lot of determination here tonight, Reggie.
Yes, he sure did. He basically controlled the game for Escambia in the second half. He was definitely the most valuable player. He made the plays. He put the ball in the players' hands who needed to make the plays down the field. So I can't do anything but give him kudos. He really had a great second half, and he really led them to victory.
Escambia improves to 3-0. Rummel goes to 1-1, so they'll need to get healthy. I think that was the right way to put it, Reggie, earlier. They got a couple of skill position players that are not playing. They take on the Riverside. They take on Riverside Rebels next week. That's a good football team, so they got to get better in a hurry.
Yeah, they definitely do. They definitely have to get healthy. They have to get better. And I know Coach Roth is going to take his time and work with these guys. I know he's going to be disappointed tonight because they had some discipline issues in terms of penalties at crucial points in the game. So I know that's going to be a point of emphasis this week in practice. But the main thing is that they have to get healthy and get their playmakers back.
And for these Escambia Gators, this will be a game they'll remember, heading over to the New Orleans area and beating a tradition-rich team like the Rummel Raiders. That will do it for our broadcast here on Game Time. I want to thank everyone involved in the production, our director, Walter Volpatti, our on-site producer, Cameron Galloway. The executive producer of Game Time on Your View, Louisiana is Eric Coleman. For Smacker Miles down on the sideline, Reggie Flood, who did a great job filling in for Jason DeQueer tonight, I'm Jeff Palermo. Again, the final score, Escambia 21, Rummel 8. Next Friday, we'll be at Live Oak for West Feliciana and the Live Oak Eagles. Have a great night, everyone.
Game Time on Your View was brought to you by Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance, ready to serve you with auto, homeowners, life insurance, and more. Real service, real people. West Feliciana Parish. The best place for you to live and work in South Louisiana is West Feliciana Parish. Check out wfparish.org. ITI Technical College, your key to a better life. And by Peak Performance. At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete and everyone stronger, faster, better.
Oh, I've had back pain now and then, but it got so bad I couldn't even bend over. I didn't want to resort to pain pills, so I chose Peak.